All right, we live.
All right, shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praise due to the Most High.
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Kodash.
Our double honors unto the apostles and elders, the great millstone, who is well, salutations to the elect. All right, we out here another Saturday. All right, what a time to be alive. All right, you know what I'm saying? What a time to be alive, man. All right, it's heating up, man. The prophecies are coming in fast and furious, man. All right,
Fast and furious.
Israel. Yesterday or a couple of days ago? Yesterday?
Two days ago.
2 days ago, right?
Thursday night.
Thursday night.
Just before this thing that's supposed to go down today on Saturday.
Oh,
Two days
right.
ago. So it was
Just before the protest.
It was 2 days before the protest. It was Thursday.
Okay.
Well, today they're having a military march in Washington D.C. to commemorate
Donald Trump's birthday.
no
Flag
the
Day.
250th year of the United States military being established. It was established in June of 1775. Donald Trump, it happens also to be his birthday. And you have different people saying, like, different views on it. Right now, the nation is divided. You have people who are saying, look, we should have our military marches and support our military. And you have certain people saying that Donald Trump looks like a communist, where he has the marching and shit. But then people are like, wait a minute. American people are saying, wait a minute. How come they can have a gay parade, but we can have a military parade?
Right.
So people are divisive. And so what they're doing now is they're sending out agent provocateurs to go over there and protest, because I saw a video with Midas. You gotta watch both of them. You gotta watch the right and the left, because you know you might just listen to the right and not get certain things, and you might just listen to the left and not get certain things. So the guy on the left, exactly, Midas touch, he left X because Elon Musk started leaning right, as he says, made X a right-wing platform in his eyes. But he was saying protest works. Now, mind you, if people truly want to protest something, you don't have to pay them. They organically believe that, look, this is something I'm opposed to. But now, people are saying, look, you give me $200 to go out there and hold a sign. You got people saying, fuck it, I'll do that. Now, all they need to do is get enough people to agree with that, and all they need is about 5 or maybe 30 agents to throw rocks, do that. And then they have the optics of, see, everybody's doing that.
Right.
This is the same play they ran in 2020, wherein when they had that George Floyd that died by fentanyl, he didn't die from that fucking cop on his neck. There's a 10-hour whole documentary on exposing that whole bullshit. But they staged riots, meaning they burnt fires and shit in the Bronx, had people come from Chicago, robbed the jewelry store, and then made it look like there's just civil unrest because of what happened to George Floyd. So all they need is optics. Now, let's link this back to the Iran thing. Israel struck major nuclear facilities in Iran, and the United States didn't know about it. There's no way the United States is not going to know about it. Israel and the United States is hand in hand. It doesn't matter which president you have, they all grab their ankles with Israel, because the Israel lobby will control most damn near all the politicians, right? Hold on, let me finish real quick, God. So, shit, I lost my shit. When I'm flowing, I just let me flow.
You said that the United States lobby was handing back because they knew that was going to happen. They knew that was going to happen because it came out that Donald Trump, the Trump administration, they used these missile interceptors to help shoot down certain missiles. But when Iran started using hypersonic missiles, they was getting to and penetrating.
Well, this is what happened. There was supposed to be a deal agreement made between Iran and Israel. Remember, they always have these little different ceasefires. It was supposed to be a 60-day. They gave them 60 days. Iran didn't come to the table, so Israel said, look, I'm going to attack, and the United States said, go ahead. That's why Trump put on his truth account that, look, we gave you 60 days, and if they don't come back to the table, hey, fuck it, it's only going to be more casualties. Now you have people in Iran are saying, and again, this is where the psyop runs deep, shit get really deep, because they're saying we got to get rid of the current Iranian regime. Now, the current Iranian regime was set up in 1979, all right, because prior to 1979, Iran had a Shah, okay, that ran that country, this family for, like, he was in power for like 40-something years, but he was a puppet, because he was an ally to Israel. Okay, he was an ally to Israel, and they would have military deals, all these sorts of things. But in 1979, a revolution was met, and Ayatollah Khomeini came into power. All right, threw over that shit and said, you know what, these gutter rats got to get the fuck out of the East, and that's when this whole conflict started between Iran and Israel. Man, Iran started funding Hezbollah. Iran started funding Yemen and the Houthis. All right, and this is when this thing came into play, man.
Just real quick. Revelation chapter 11, verse 14. It says the second woe was past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly.
That third woe being World War III. Now, the only thing that's holding back the winds of destruction from World War III is that RFID microchip being mandated, right? And I know it might seem like we're on the brink of absolute war right now, but it can't happen right now. Why? 2nd Ezra, the 4th chapter, the 23rd verse, roughly. Let me see if I can find it out.
I got something like that. This is what the brothers been mentioning, things have been happening. This is 2 Corinthians 2:11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices.
Yeah, that's right, man. Because we're watching. All right, we're the watchmen. We're the prophets, man. All right, so we watching what the so-called white man is doing. We're watching what's going on this earth. We watching his plays. We watching the plays that he's running back. All right.
And like with that the Shah of Iran, the puppet the brothers was mentioning, he started going against the bankers. He joined with the Hunt brothers. Those was the Bill Gates of the 80s and Elon Musk. They was a rich family in Texas. That's why they bankrupt Texas. Shah of Iran, Governor Connolly, the one that was in the car when Kennedy got killed, and the Hunt brothers, Shah of Iran, and then, I don't know if it was another one, but the bankers broke that whole shit they had up. They took out the Shah of Iran. They bankrupted the Hunt brothers. You know what I mean? You know, you can look it up.
I got something. This is 2nd Ezra 4:37. By measure hath he measured the times, and by number hath he numbered the times, and he does not move nor stir them until said measure be fulfilled.
Yeah, that's right, man. So guess what, man? The Heavenly Father, all right, these prophecies, it has to go, in order, man. Now, as the brothers were saying, man, we're excited. You know what I'm saying? That was a big move right there, man. All right, but there's still steps to take for World War III to officially take place, man. All right? And that comes with what, man? The implementation of that RFID microchip, man, which is the MOTB according to the scriptures. But at the same time, hey, man, the chess moves, the Lord is making these chess moves, all right?
And Iran struck back.
Right, they did.
Iran has never hit Tel Aviv before, and guess what? Boom, they did. And these so-called Jews, man, they're so fucking crafty, bro.
Right.
They're so. You know what the slogan of the Mossad is, which is the CIA equivalent of the. That's the Israeli CIA, basically. They said deception make war. Now that's a twisted version of Proverbs the 24th chapter, where it says, before you go to war, make counsel. They say through deception make war. So this is what they like to do. They like to deceive people to have them fight their wars for them. Because Israel is a small land, you know what I'm saying? But if they could infiltrate their enemies, if they could infiltrate the leaders of Egypt, watch that movie Spy. Watch that movie Spy. It's on Netflix. It stars Sacha Baron Cohen, and it's based on the real-life spy Eli Cohen. That motherfucker got so high up in the Syrian military that he was about to be one of the top generals. It wasn't until the Russians intervened and caught his ass, sending back spy messages to Israel. They hanged him publicly. But it shows you that you have different so-called Jews that look like other nations. They could look Arab, speak that shit fluently, and infiltrate these other countries, bro.
That's why a lot of people that show The Wire, a lot of people look over season 2 because the so-called Greek, the dudes that was selling drugs and all of that, they wasn't real. They wasn't Greeks. That was a cover. They got one of them gutter rats for killing the women in the containers, and they was like, yeah, you say you are Ottoman Turk, but yet you got a hook nose. See, he knew the history. They knew they was imposters. He was like, you say you're Ottoman Turk. Relax, this is not the old world. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you have a lot of crypto Jews amongst like very powerful You got very powerful nations like Turkey,
Erdogan, he's a goddamn kite.
Erdogan, and you also have the House of Saud, the Saudi royal family, crypto Jews, man.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
And the Saudi Arabia, the House of Saud came into power in 1932. Who put them into power? The British government. So you gotta understand this history, man. In order for you to understand the mystery of how things work right now. Why do you think Turkey, which is a so-called Muslim state, is a part of NATO? You know why? Because the Ottoman Turks are crypto Jews that took on the religion of Islam. Just saying, look at the facts. Look at the facts.
Them so-called Jews, man, they, like I said, Amalek is a very deceptive fucking rat, man. You know, but the Most High said in Job 9:24, earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So this craftiness and serpent-like nature they got is the Most High that blessed them with that, you know, that wisdom to be all crafty and shit. Now, Iran struck back at Tel Aviv, and we was talking about this off camera. These devils use humans as shields. They use civilians as shields because they put their base in the heart of like a bustling city. I mean, in other words, people that have their military bases, they'll put that shit somewhere else, separate. These fucking devils put it in the heart of like a bustling city and shit. So when you do attack it, they can demonize you.
Now they get credit. Now they get credit to attack you wholeheartedly. But notice something. Iran hit Tel Aviv, right? Tel Aviv is like New York City. See what the lights and everything? But guess what? No casualties. People got hurt because that's a part of war.
No, casualties.
Casualties now?
Yeah, it was casualties.
So now, here it is. When Iran got hit by Israel, it was all kind of casualties. They killed women and children. They were just killing women and children, man. And hitting everything in sight. Nuclear facilities, attacking the higher ranked military officials of Iran, and getting away with it. No European nation, like Elvis said, that bends over and touch the English for the gutter rats over there, the Israeli gutter rats over there. They didn't have nothing to say about that. But as soon as Iran started hitting Tel Aviv, and now you got to hold restraint. You got to hold restraint, man. You got to hold restraint. You got to be careful. You got to hold restraint. Now it's about holding restraint, but Israel can't hold. Don't get no cause from nobody saying they got to hold restraint, man. Listen, if I was this dude that I told him and the supreme leader of Iran, I would hit them motherfucking hard, man. I would kill women and children. I wouldn't give a fuck. I would get barbaric on those motherfuckers. Show them something, man. Show them something. And you backed by China and Iran. I mean, you backed by China and Russia. So what the hell is your problem, man? Why are you scared of these fucking gutter rats, man? You scared of America? That's what it is, man. You scared of America's military might, huh? Bitch, man up, man.
They don't. You're right, bro. But you know what I think? I was like, man, why don't they just fucking kill Bibi Netanyahu? I think
they scared of him.
Yeah, I don't think. I think they're not suicidal, bro. Because Iran, if you're right, they never really. Israel just don't give a fuck. They'll just bomb whatever. Because you know why? They got the got the backing of the United States. And Iran, it seems like they don't want to go full World War III. At least the Ayatollah don't. Because I'm like, yo, the Iron Dome made shit against some hypersonics. Get their ass.
It's been proven. Yeah. It's what they do. They were sending drones in first and find out the interceptors where these Iron Domes at and these Patriot defense missile systems.
They got a bunch of different missile systems. But the hypersonics again. Even Yemen's when the Houthis, they shot they shit too. Nothing happened.
You know why? Because the Yemenese government and the Lebanese government is funded by Iran. And they all allies, so they send each other with missiles and everything and weaponry. But North Korea sent Iran a bunch of drones. That's a new wave of technology that's help fighting these wars, sending drones with missiles and everything and let them attack.
I got an article, this is 10 hours ago. It said, breaking, Iran targeted infrastructure and building in Tel Aviv used by Israel to store F-35 jets and submarines. So in other words, Iran want to keep making it look like, look, we're just targeting your military, we're not targeting civilians. You know?
That's another thing. But when you look at Iran is doing that, but when you look at how Israel is handling things, they just bomb. They don't care. They're reckless. They don't give a fuck. They kill scientists. They will kill women. They will kill children. They don't give a fuck. They'll bomb the fuck out you with no goddamn, because they're the devil. They ain't gonna have no conscience. They ain't gonna have no remorse. They're the fucking devil.
Now, you got a quote for this, Isaiah? Yeah. Isaiah 9:5 says, "For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise."
Yeah, that's right, man. So we living in you know, the warfare of today. All right, it's not compared to what it was, man. All right, you know, a big army on that side, another army on that side, and they just clashing in some open field, right?
Yeah,
you know, and that was brutal. That's brutal. Yeah, that's, you know what I'm saying?
If shit was done like that, there wouldn't be that much wars.
Right.
You'd have to count the cost, for real.
Two fucking brothers.
You'd be like, damn, I got to. And in them times, the king would be on the battlefield.
Right.
I was just thinking about how King David, when he got weak, when he was getting older, how he almost got slain. They had to say, no, you ain't get back on the battlefield. But King David was fucking on the battlefield. All the ancient kings, all the ancient kings of the ancient world, even Edomite kings, was on the battlefield during the time of the Roman Empire, fighting tooth and nail with their soldiers, showing his machismo, so to speak, man. Nowadays, these old ass fucking presidents, they be in the closed stores, all the people that get killed.
Yeah, it's getting more pussified.
I would even just say it's more pussified. It's just like, but you know, even if it was the way it was back in the day, you know, these leaders not doing that. But you know, the warfare changed. Man. We're dealing with drones now, all right. And as it goes on, AI, you know, cyborgs, you know what I'm saying, all this other type of shit. All right, so it's a different type of warfare, man.
Yo, look where the money is going. Like these Black Rocks and shit. Instead of throwing money in the Lockheed Martins and the Boeings and all that, like now the money is being thrown into what? Palantir, Oracle, CoreWeave, all these AI data-driven data centers. Because, like you're saying, the warfare is completely changing. Look at what's going on in Ukraine. You're not seeing, you got soldiers on the ground and shit, but a lot of that shit is drone technology. Pretty much unmanned technology, bro.
Simulations
and datas and shit.
Pussified, yo, is this an AI video or whatever with who is bodyguard showing how he can hit like 4 people within 2 seconds?
That's kind of real. I don't know. I think I got a real.
That don't look like AI to me.
No, that kind of real with me.
You got a lot of stuff. You got a lot of
special forces.
You got a lot of these mobiles that's crafty with their shit. You know what I'm saying? They be busting down. One man busting down 10 men. You know what I mean? They be
assassin. I have to get expert opinions.
I don't think it's that was AI, but AI is out here hard because then you had a simulation. There was like in Tel Aviv. I'm watching it on YouTube, but I realized it was artificial. It was AI. In Tel Aviv, they was running a reporter. A big black man cracked the skies, you know, and he's killing many people. We've seen UFOs and we've seen on top of the UFO, a black man with a big afro. So I know some brother put that out there, artificial intelligence, you know what I'm saying, because and they had Esau running, and they had Esau running, reporting, and then he gets zapped by one of the chariots. I'm like, oh, you see Yahusha come down, swinging the sword, you know, but Yahusha ain't gonna come down swinging the sword. He's gonna be them beams, the laser beams, he's gonna do everything. It ain't gonna be Yahusha coming down swinging the sword himself. No, he ain't gotta do that. So I know that was, I said, that's AI, you know what I mean? But it is what it is, man. Artificial intelligence is dangerous, man.
For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise, and with garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning fuel of fire.
Yeah, that's right, man. So, hey, this warfare, all right, is a nuclear warfare, man. It's about to get real out here. It's about to be deadly serious, man. All right? This is a different type of warfare, man. All right? This is not back in the days, man. So this is why, hey, we have to, prepare ourselves for what's about to go down, man. Because there ain't no nothing out here, the scriptures speak about America being nuked off the face of the earth. All right? Ain't no bunker gonna save you from no hypersonic nuclear missile, man. Right? Ain't no way to hide, man. Unless you have the elect. All right, but this is the type of war we in right now, man. All right, the war drums are being beaten, man. All right, the fact that Iran shot back at Israel. All right, hey, that's a big deal, man.
with hardcore, deadly precision. And they're saying it's not over. Because Iran, Israel said they're going to retaliate, and Iran said, "Oh, you retaliate, they're going to retaliate even harder."
Well, how Israel retaliate and they struck first? You know what I'm saying? I mean, how you retaliate? How we gonna retaliate? You fired a missile first. All right. So yeah, man, you gotta watch this. You know, the world is tired of this so-called white man. The world is tired of this devil. Man.
But you know what?
All right?
People are scared to speak out because of the backing that Israel has, man.
Well, I was gonna say there's a lot of people supporting
Iran,
yeah.
I'm reading comments, yeah.
It's like far different than it was in 2001 when they struck the towers. People were rallied up, yo, nah, fuck that, we gotta go. It's gonna be very hard to pull that play again now because you have your TikToks, you have your X accounts, you have people that's gonna be on the ground saying, no, this is not happening, that's not happening. Now, that's what it's looking like. That's what they might need. It looks like they need like an attack on the United States ground, which they could definitely orchestrate false flag that shit. But there's no guarantee that you're gonna have the people behind it. Because guess what? The current sitting president, Donald Trump, the MAGA base, they're anti-war. They're not, his core base are like pro-war. Remember they voted this guy because it was 4 years of no major wars, right? He was more surgical with it. Right. So to get their military, a lot more people have joined the military because that American patriotism is there. However, to get them to go to fight a war for Israel now is going to be a lot more harder. And this is why, bro, that AI shit is coming heavy into play. Because you don't really need these motherfuckers like that no more. You know what I'm saying? You could have your big Boeing 6th generation jet with like 500 drones on each side, bro.
Attached to the goddamn plane.
You're gonna have your loyal dogs, bro, no matter what. They just, there's loyal military dogs, right? Just a fucking servant no matter what. But to get the whole people behind this shit is changing. That's how come the real war right now is being the war for the mind.
That's right.
Running counterintelligence on X accounts and these different Instagrams and shit to try to sway the people to be with Israel. But it's not happening.
And then you see a lot of people, when you read the comments, they saying, oh, death to Israel, Iran should retaliate harder. I'm like, okay, but Iran is trying, and then, they're telling the United States government, Donald Trump calling the shah saying, hold restraint. You ain't telling these goddamn governments to hold restraint, nigga. You fucking red bastard. You tell them to go hard, and then you help them. But on the other end, you got your hand behind your back with a knife in it, ready to stab the shah in his back, tell him to hold restraint.
All these politicians, what's going on?
This is Ecclesiastes 3. The point is in verse 8, but I'm gonna start from verse 1. It says, "To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heavens."
Yeah, that's right, man. So everything is a season, man. All right, a time to live, a time to die, a time for peace, a time for war. All right, a time for love, a time for hate. But guess what? We're in a time of hate, in the time of war, man. All right, all of these things is coming from the Heavenly Father. All right, go ahead.
A time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted.
Yeah, that's right, man. So there's a time to plant and there's a time to reap, man. All right, and that's what it is, man. Hey, they call the Yahweh Shai the Grim Reaper, man. All right. So this is the time that we live in, man. A lot of people go to reap what they sow, and that's what's going on. This is the time that we live in, man. These gutter rods, guess what, man? They have to reap what they sow, man. All right, all of this is really because a controversy of Zion, man. All right, touching the apple of the Lord's eye, man. All right, the Lord put them up in rulership, but guess what? That time of rulership is coming to an end, man. A swift end, man. All right.
It says a time to kill and a time to heal.
Yeah, that's right, man. Hey, guess what? Scriptures. Hey, they got violence in the scriptures, man.
Throughout the scriptures.
All right, throughout the scriptures, man. All right, throughout the whole scriptures. All right, this idea where you can just, we just want everybody to get along and peace in the middle. Listen, man. That time for peace is going to be in the future. All right, when the Lord makes his return and sets order upon the earth, man. All right?
You made a statement. You said that what the Bible, that there's violence in the Bible. The Bible is a history book, going to the history of Israel, a book of lamentation, prophecy, and woe. Woe means destruction. So it's nothing peaceable about the Bible. The Bible was speaking about the history of Israel, why we went down, why we go into slavery, why we lost, our identity as a people, why the Lord turned his back on us. That's all in the scriptures, and it's about prophecy, lamentation, destruction, and woe. It's not a peaceful book. It's not a book of God loves everybody.
Right.
That's a total lie, man.
Hey, on the other camp, before we came over here, the elder brother, he was speaking about, when you go in this church, it's about singing and listen, man, all right? That don't have nothing to what's going on right now, man, all right? That has nothing to do with what's going on right now, man. We live in a very serious time, all right? The most dangerous time in the history of the earth, man, all right? There's a whole name for it. It's called what? Jacob's struggle, man, all right? So it's about to go down, all right? Go ahead.
It says a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance.
Yeah, that's right, man.
Y'all was supposed to have the article. Palantir seems to be the topic of discussion, right? You see, Palantir's CEO, which is Alex Karp, tells Americans to get ready for a 3-front war with Russia, China, and Iran.
That's
Let's
prophecy
go.
right there, bro. That right there is Ezekiel, the 38th chapter. Let's go. Let's bring it up. Come on, stop pussyfooting around and get this shit popping.
My son, a lot of money is flowing into who? Palantir, CoreWeaves, Oracles, and Palo Alto, all these AI data-driven companies now, bro.
Right.
And he's the head of that shit. He's the head. So
Let's get it popping. Let's get it straight popping. I got a scripture real quick. This is Zephaniah chapter 1, verse 14. And this is what's coming, man. That great day, the great day of the Lord is near. It is near and hasteth greatly. Even the voice of the day of the Lord. That voice is the prophets out here telling you what's going to come down the pipe, man. What's happening, man? It says, the mighty man shall cry there bitterly. The mighty men of Esau's military. Whether you're a Russian counterpart of Esau, whether you are American Edomite, whether you a kite Edomite bastard, the mighty men of these different militaries are going to cry there bitterly. It says that day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation. When you go to the book of Joel, the 2nd chapter, it talks about wasteness and desolation and gloominess. And Zephaniah is saying the same thing. And it says, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness, a day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities, which is America, and against the high towers. And I will bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord. Going into the only ones that can sin is 2/3 you Negroes, Spanish, Native Americans that have joined themselves up to Esau, man. So it's gonna get real serious out here, real quick, man. You got it, bro.
Quick precept before we come back to that. This is Joel chapter 3, verse 9. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles.
we read for you, huh? Oh, all right, read for you. I got it for you. This is Joel chapter 3, verse 9. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near.
Yeah, that's right, man. Yeah, that's right, man. Hey, this is the time we living in, man. All right? Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. And this is what all these nations is getting ready to prepare for, man. All right? Shit ain't sweet out here, man. All right? It's going to come to pass, man. We watching the prophecies hit, come closer day by day. All right? I was telling the brother, yo, when I seen that article, right? That Israel hit Iran, I was in the train like this. I was trying to like keep my excitement down, man. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, oh shit. I was like, oh shit.
Right before this,
you know what I'm saying? I was trying to hold it down. All right? But these are the times we living in. Like to the rest of the world, all right, it looks like a perilous time. To us, it's like, yo, we almost out of here, man.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
That's right.
The return of our Lord is here. The kingdom is at hand. All right? But before that goes down, all right, you gotta have that third world.
All right? Can I say something real quick? When you look at 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter, these days is coming to pass, and you're like, whoa, this is prophecy, because we got uproars of the people, and then we got wars, and we got rumors of wars happening. You know what I'm saying? The rumors of wars is Iran, I'm saying China attacking Taiwan to bring it back to being a part of China. Then the wars is, you got what's going on in the Gaza Strip, you got what's going on in Ukraine with Russia, you got what's going on right now with Iran and Israel, man. Iran is the only how can I say it? Iran is the only one that's standing in the way of Israel having total dominance of the Middle East, man. Iran is the only one that's standing up with their proxy armies. Lebanon, Yemen, you know? It was once Syria, Hezbollah was a part of Lebanon. Lebanon, Yemen was the Houthis, you know? And it was once Syria, but Syria has been taken out.
The Palestinians, they're against them too, but they don't have no standing army.
And then you got
completely getting fucking bombed.
Then you got the king of Jordan touching his ankles to Netanyahu. You got the king of Egypt is afraid to, you know, stand up to Netanyahu, so they back down.
Yeah, well, what's
Kamal Nasser.
Kamal Nasser, back in 1952, he was against Israel. But
Right.
guess what? Remember we talked about they get people in their own government? Well, somebody high up in his own government in Egypt was an Israeli asset. So when you see some of these Middle Eastern nations that's cool with Israel, that's because they've been compromised. Just like Syria. Remember, wait a minute, the former leader of Al-Qaeda, they fucking trimmed off his beard. Next thing you know, this nigga's on CNN in a suit.
He got a suit.
And he looked just like a so-called Jew. Why? Because he's been compromised. If you see Syria taking over,
probably is a crypto Jew.
yeah, probably either he's a crypto Jew because he looked just like Zelensky, or he's just somebody that sold out his nation. More than likely, he's a crypto Jew because that's what they do. They get so-called Jews that look Arabic, speak Arabic. We already know that the Al-Qaeda was set up by fucking
Zygmunt Brzezinski in the 70s.
Zabriskie.
No,
I'm saying,
Brzezinski, yeah.
and a last name like that, you already know.
He's a
He wrote a book called The Grand Chessboard.
Yeah, Brzezinski. And his daughter is a reporter on CNN.
Yeah, so now Syria, if Syria is not attacking Israel anymore, it's because they've been compromised. They wanted Syria for the longest, bro. Like I said, watch the movie Spy.
The oil field, because now they got that puppet dude, Jelani there, and he was
him.
Yeah, Jelani's there, and at first he always was a Mossad puppet or Mossad asset, but now first he had the turban on. There was a kid who had they had a $1 million bounty on his head. After that,
they took that shit off.
they took it off and trimmed his beard down, sliced it up a little bit. He still got a beard, but it's trimmed down hard. And put a suit on him. Now you the goddamn supreme leader of Israel. I'm saying the puppet leader of Syria. We took down Bashar al-Assad.
And mind you, they have people on their phones, and he's in the middle like this. They're already giving the optics like everybody want him in there. Like, what the fuck?
Come on, man.
This shit is
Like
wild.
he's well beloved. That's nothing but propaganda being pushed out. You know? The Hegelian dialect that's being pushed out.
Alright. It says that all the men of war draw near, let them come up, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears.
Yeah, that's right, man. So guess what, man? Hey, it's a great, as we're preparing for war, man. Hey, a lot of the budget, a lot of money, all right, is going to be spent on military, man. But guess what? It's not just, the army. It's not the army. You're going to do a recruiting campaign, all of that, as we read earlier, man. All right? It's a different type of war. All right? So guess what? A lot of AI technology, a lot of drones, right? A lot of nuclear missiles. This is a whole different thing.
Propaganda warfare too.
Right? What's that?
Propaganda warfare.
Propaganda
That's how you
warfare.
have your AI play.
Yep.
You saw that AI video? The bitch was like, I'm reporting from this hurricane, whatever.
Right.
It's like, I'm kidding, I'm not real.
No,
but you thought it was real for a second.
Nah, they have a lot. If you go on TikTok, They have a lot of videos like that.
They put it in the group chat.
Yep. They make jokes about it.
then you
Oh,
had
I'm a gorilla from Jamaica. It's looking super
You see
real.
the one with the bitch doing the makeup?
Right.
This is my makeup routine. I do this, I do that. You thought it was, I say,
But then you had this one lady report. She was like this big sinkhole where everybody's having problems with, and also you see some old lady, old ugly looking lady in the 80s, sitting up her fucking robe with a fucking suit on, a baby suit on, a two-piece, looking stink, and jump into the hole. And she said, "Psych, I'm not." She didn't say psych. She said, "But I'm not real."
Right.
So I'm like, "Oh
Crazy.
shit!" You know what I mean?
Well,
This
hey,
is crazy,
hey,
bro.
hey,
crazy war now, bro.
It's a war for your mind, man. This
And that's why we gotta be circumspect, man. We gotta examine all these things. You can't just believe anything you see, you know, in terms when it comes to media, man. On the TV, on the internet, all these things, man. Because guess what? All of these things, all these little fake things, guess what, man? They
designed to trap you up,
right? And not only that, man, to persecute the men of the Lord. All right? Best believe, hey, brothers gonna be on there saying some wild shit.
And you know something else? I was thinking about that Apostle Gabar said. He said they probably ain't not gonna get so deep where they're gonna put it out there, whereas put our face up there saying that, but our voices saying that we say this and saying that, and it's not true. You know, and deceive a lot of people.
I got something. Proverbs 14 and 15. The simple believeth every word, but the prudent man looketh well into his gold.
Yeah, that's right, man. The simple believe it every word, man. All right, a lot of people out here, they're simple. You have to you gotta investigate everything in reality. All right, you can't just go through life all lottie-dottie, especially now, man. Especially now, you know. So like this, I got you.
Joel 3 and 10 now. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong.
Yeah, that's right, man. The weak is saying I am strong, man. All right, this thing with Iran right there, hey, man, that's a big step right there. You know what I mean? You know all these nations, all right, got nuclear weapons now, right? Access to nuclear weapons, right? You know? And now, it was not the first time Iran shot back at
You know,
Israel, right?
in 2024, they had a back and forth, but they only hit military facilities,
Right.
and they used a lot of drones to show that we have capabilities and we can fuck y'all up.
Right.
But this time they hit Tel Aviv, a major city. That's like unto New York City.
Right.
The equivalent of their Pentagon, Israeli's Pentagon, is in Tel Aviv. These devils are so strategic, bro. You're not supposed to put that shit with civilians on, but they do it anyways.
Right.
And use humans as shields.
Exactly, because they don't want, so now they can use, oh, these guys are barbaric. Look what they did. But they was targeting nuclear facilities, and the Shah of Iran made sure that he hit targets related to military infrastructure, you know?
Exactly, because they trying to, they know they're trying to say, look, we're trying to target the military, but these fucking gun rats.
Nah, well, you know what it is. You know what it is. After a while, you know, like, all right, I'll give you an example.
Don't a lot of Jakes, I'm sorry, ain't a lot of Jakes is living over there? That's over there by the facility?
They over there in the morning where the nuclear waste site was at. You know what I'm saying? Where a lot of nuclear testers was at. So they over there in the foul land.
Yeah. I'm gonna give you an example. I started boxing, right? Sparring or whatever, right? But I'm trying to do like all techniques and da. Some dudes don't fuck about none of that. You know what I'm saying? They swinging for the fences. That's what it is right now, man. Iran, they try to get their technique. Oh, we get his military bases and da. They no longer give a fuck, man. There's women, kids, all of that, man. So, you know, these nations gonna have to get on that, man.
But you gotta,
Israel's whole mindset is like, if they have the target, they're gonna shoot.
Right.
Fuck whoever dies with it.
Kids, women, none of that.
Because
The dog.
without the American backing, Israel would not survive over there. They wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do that because the backing of America, they know that America gonna gear up, put their soldiers on the front line and bomb the shit out of Iran. And Iran don't want that.
Iran got no chance against America, bro.
They don't want that. And
That's why I said they're not suicidal.
And then that's gonna bring in Russia and China. And that's gonna be a full-fledged war.
That's called MAD, mutually assured destruction. And
Right.
This, like some of these nations, man, they've been very fucking. It's the most high, bro. Because you look at like Vladimir Putin. If Vladimir Putin was like, let's say, Stalin, would have been in World War III like a long time ago.
Back in 2022.
Would have been done a long time ago. But this nigga Putin is being very diplomatic. the fucking Ayatollah of Iran, they're being like they trying to be like, you know what I mean?
Right, hey, you quoted the scripture. It says, it's Proverbs 24, verse 6. It says, for by wise counsel thou shalt make thy war.
Yeah, like I said, Mossad, they twist that scripture to say by deception.
Right.
But no, it's truly by counsel. So
Right.
these nations are thinking like, yo, we gonna fucking wipe these rats off the map.
Right,
but we gotta hold back because they got the United States.
Yep.
And
We don't want war with them because they got the second largest nuclear arsenal over in Russia. Russia got the top.
I know they say Russia, but I believe America's gonna win. I think America.
It could be, but
Because guess what? Even until this day, America hasn't outright said they got hypersonic missiles.
no, they do. They came out.
they
It's
said?
called the Dark Eagle. I did a show on it. It's called the Dark Eagle.
But they've been had it. What I'm saying
It's called
is,
the Dark Eagle hypersonic missile. I'm gonna bring it up.
what
real
I'm
quick.
saying, if Russia comes out and say we got the most, you're not gonna hear America come out and say we got the most. You know what I'm saying? So, but it doesn't matter because what's the difference between 2,000 versus 3,000? They're both done. It's a both done deal. So, but the point is, America is very fucking powerful. Russia is very powerful, and whether you like it or not, at some point, this is where the Mossad is gonna put it on their minds and just say, fuck it. Yo, turn them keys.
I got this article real quick. I'm gonna bring. I did a show on it. I got this article I'm gonna bring up real quick. It's called the Dark Eagle hypersonic missile.
Yeah, that's what
It says the Dark Eagle is a nickname for the U.S. Army's long-range hypersonic weapon. A hypersonic missile designed to deliver precision strikes against high-value, time-sensitive targets in speed exceeding Mach 5, which is 3,800 miles.
5 times the speed of sound.
Yeah. It says it is the Army's first operational hypersonic missile
Bullshit.
system.
Bullshit.
They didn't have that.
They've been there. That's what I'm saying. You know, I know that's bullshit because of a guy that was in the military for a number of years already told me straight up that, come on, just think about it. Like,
They were working on this shit, man. They got hypersonic missiles, but this Dark Age, they've been working on it for like 2 or 3 years.
they've been had that shit, bro. Because all you gotta do too is, like, hold on. So if China comes out and say they have hypersonic missiles, right? China puts about $200 million in their military. The United States put over like $2 billion in their military, bro. They put so much money in their military. They got like the top side. It's like, come on, bro. Like,
So it's a little more. It says it is the Army's first Operation Hypersonic Missile System, which is bullshit.
big cap.
It is a ground-launched missile that carries a hypersonic glide body, which glides at hypersonic speeds through the atmosphere. Here's how.
So America has the best jet in the world, F-35. Sorry, yep, the F-35, right? Is it the F? It's the F-35 Raptor, right?
Yeah, it's about to, but it's another one they have too.
No. I'm sorry, the F-22 Raptor, right? Double check that for me. The F-22.
Then they have F-35.
The F-35 is a bomber normally, but I'd be the F-22 is a fighter. But I don't know if it's called a Raptor or not. But you have
It's
the
a Raptor. It's called a
okay.
Raptor.
So you have the F-22 Raptor by Lockheed Martin, which is the top jet in the world, but you don't have the top missile in the world. Like you just now came up with the missile. Come on, that's bullshit.
We not Esau. We not idiots saying it's the right.
Ignorant of the right.
So it says, here's a more detailed look at the Dark Eagle. Key features and capabilities. Speed, speed. Dark Eagle flies at speeds exceeding Mach 5 over 3,800 miles per hour. Range. The missile has a reported range of 1,725 miles. Launch system. Each Dark Eagle battery consists of 4 launchers, each with 2 missile canisters. Then it says hypersonic guide body. The missile launches a hypersonic guide body that glides through the atmosphere at hypersonic speeds. Operational status. The Dark Eagle, the first Dark Eagle unit is expected to be filled by FY 2025. Before the year 2025, they already got. They say the 4 F5 means the 4 of the year 2025. That's going to be put in production, put in the military as them having a flight like that. So you gonna tell me you only got one, or you got hundreds of them shits, man? Come on, Esau, they be stupid. So you only got one Dark Eagle hypersonic missile. No, you got fucking hundreds of them shits. You be producing them shits at a large rate, secretly.
Okay, this is Psalms chapter 58, verse 3. It says, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go. I know, but my bad. Psalm 58, just, quick, because we just said that. Psalm chapter 58, verse 3. Well, you stupid.
So Psalm chapter 58, verse 3 says, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies.
Yeah, that's right, man. So you can't trust anything this so-called white man says, man. All right? Hey, speaking about that missile, that goes in line with how he does everything with his technology. All right? He might drop a new iPhone. Oh, yeah, the iPhone's been out, right? Since old technology or whatever it is, man. All right?
Habakkuk 2 and 4.
Right.
Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him.
Yeah, that's right, man. So this so-called white man, his soul is not upright, man. All right? He can't help himself. He was created to be the wicked. All right? He was created to be the serpent. He was created to be a liar, man. All right? So you got to investigate everything this man says, man. All right? Yeah, you see DJ Trump talking about, they wanted to speak with, Iran about whatever they want to speak about, and then he bombed them pretty much the next day.
Yeah, you know what they do with Iran? They do a strategy called pulling your teeth. So they'll say you have to denuclearize you have to take down your nuclear enrichment to 30%.
Right.
No, now you got to bring it down to 25.
Right.
Okay, now you got to get rid of these missiles. Now you got to get rid. You know what I'm saying? That's what they exactly to the point. Iran's like, what the fuck can we?
Right. What are you doing? You know
right.
what I'm saying?
Exactly.
What are you doing? Yep.
Exactly, and they'll come in these agreements, put these restrictions on Iran, and then violate all the shit they told Iran not to do.
That's the play of the so-called white man. He broken his covenant, man. He going to war with people that be at peace with him, man.
He's been doing this since the time when he first came over here, man.
Yep. That's his play.
That's his spirit. That's why he moved.
Yep.
That's why the Native American said that the guy that's in the movement that said that Esau speaks with a forked tongue, man. Because he's a fucking devil that don't fucking keep his word, man.
The pig that don't fly straight.
Yeah, that's right. Awesome.
I got something. Who's reading? Okay, go ahead.
Because let's finish.
Okay.
But the just shall live by his faith.
Yeah, that's right, man. So us, the hopeful elect, man. All right, we live by the faith of Yahweh Shai, man. All right, be excited about these things. The scriptures say they will happen, and guess what? It's happening right before our very eyes, man. All right, this boosts our faith, man. Right? Let's come to camp super excited. Chat went crazy. Oh man,
I like when Trump is in, bro.
Yeah.
Shit get popping, bro. There's a lot of shit moving.
Yep.
We gonna know that we get excited, we that much closer, but the system had to collapse and had to bring in that new system, which is which is that digital currency.
Well, if you've been reading, they said what? They saying that they want to go straight to stablecoin, which is a cryptocurrency that's pegged by the dollar. Then eventually, you just dish that dollar part, and next thing you know, it's full blown.
Right.
See,
so the shit's moving, bro.
Yeah,
this is we're approaching.
Yep.
We're approaching this right now because right now you got regional wars. You got regional wars with or secluded wars, Iran and Israel, which could turn to a whole full-fledged regional war if shit get out of hand. Then you have what's going on in Ukraine with Russia, and the Lord is setting the stage for a world war. Because eventually everything's gonna get out of hand. I got a precept. This is Isaiah chapter 34, verse 1. You can break it down, bro. And it reads, "Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world and all things that come forth of it." It says, "For the indignation of the Lord Yahweh is upon all nations, and his fury upon their armies."
Yeah, that's right, man. So guess what, man? That indignation, that righteous anger of the Lord is upon all you nations, man. You know what I mean? Hey, in real reality, you don't got no dog in this fight, man. Oh, the Russians and the Chinese,
See, real quick, I'm about to share this too with the chat.
Right.
It says, just in, Shopify partners with Coinbase and Stripe to roll out the USDC stablecoin payments starting in June with full launch by the end of 2025.
Oh, that's
So
right there.
send it
Paying
to
with
me.
stable coin, yeah.
Over.
Send it to me.
I'm gonna put it right now.
Yeah, that's right. So we see, we see this thing moving, man. All right, they're about to implement a digital system, man. Get rid of this dollar. All right, once this dollar is out of here, man, hey, man, it's super lit, man. But
We
we see
got
that
it by 2026, man.
man, Lord willing.
Lord
willing,
willing,
bro.
I'm tired of
Yep.
being in this shithole,
Yep.
man.
You know, you see how they doing it out here in NYC with the Omni. All right, they
That's how you do it. You do it gradually,
Yep,
bro.
yep,
You
yep.
do it gradually. You
Oh,
cook
gradually.
you cook the frogs slow heat.
Right.
what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
The
That's a
boiling
fact.
frogs.
Yep.
The pot with the boiling frogs, but they don't boil at first. You put them in there,
just
and the
put
water's
them-
cold. They're
yeah.
like, oh, this shit is life. Then it starts getting a little warmer.
It feel nice.
This shit feel
Oh,
beautiful, man.
it's like warm
Then it
out
started
here.
getting a little. Then it started getting a little intense.
little
They're like, damn, you
comfortable.
know what? It's still it's getting a little tense, but it's still comfortable.
Right,
I got
right.
the life.
Right.
Unless you know, their skin is turning colors.
Because if you notice, Trump said he's against the CBDC.
CBDC.
Trump said I'm against central bank digital currencies.
Right.
The head of the Federal Reserve, Chairman Powell, we're not gonna go central bank digital currency. Why? Because
Why?
they can't say it, bro. Because that's gonna jump the frog out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We're gonna do stable coin.
Right.
That's how you do it, bro.
That's a crazy name, stable.
We're gonna have it. We're gonna
Right.
have it here. We're gonna turn on the low
They-
gas and put the frogs in there
They-
for the people.
They call it stable coins because cryptos are typically known for being very volatile.
Right.
But stable coins are like they just maintain their value, but they have to be pegged to something. Now I said this. I said I don't think they're gonna jump straight into CBDC.
Right.
They're gonna start with the stable coin, and sure enough, boom. Because I only said that because I was just going based off what the fuck they were saying, and it just makes more sense. Like it's more easier to ease that in. And so what you're gonna have is a cryptocurrency, and Visa has to adopt it. MasterCards have to adopt it because people are saying the thing is if you go crypto, right? No problem. You don't need no Visa. You don't need that MasterCard middleman.
Right,
So
right.
Visa and MasterCard to keep their business afloat, they have to adopt this thing. Okay? So soon you're gonna be able to go on your shit and pay in USDC, $1.
Woo. I got something back in Isaiah chapter 34 verse 2. For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury upon their armies. He hath utterly destroyed them. He hath delivered them to the sword.
Yeah, that's right, man. So guess what, man? According to Exodus 15:3, the Lord is a man of war. Hey, man, the Lord just said, hey, the stage is being set, man, for the return of our Lord Yahweh Shai, man. You know, that's what it really is, man. Right? The stage is being set. All right, we understand these countries are about to go to war. They're about to be, sending nukes, all right, to and fro. Guess what, man? The indignation of the Lord is here, man. That righteous anger, man. That fury. All right?
He said he hath utterly destroyed them. That means it happened already.
Right.
We're just playing out a movie that the Lord created.
Right.
So in another dimension, America has been destroyed already.
Yeah,
Right. Right.
You gotta see, I was saying this in the lesson, right? You gotta look at time like a racetrack, right? So when you run a racetrack, right? That's time, right? You run in the racetrack, you can't run backward, all you can do is run forward, right? But what the Lord did was, because people think like, as I'm running, this racetrack is being created in front of me, but no. The Most High created the entire racetrack. And what he did with the prophets was, instead of having run them, he snatched them up in the air
And show them.
and looked,
Right.
and they saw the entire racetrack. They pointed their head right over here. So we're running it, but the prophets already seeing it. You know what I'm saying? So that's basically how the scriptures are.
Exactly, because hey, that's why it says. He says, and his fury upon all their armies, he hath utterly destroyed them. So this happened already. We just playing out a movie that we playing out the prophecies. So we are playing out what happened in the past, and we just living it.
Exactly. In another part of the timeline, or this racetrack, if you will, it's already done. We just have to get to that point.
Right.
I'm saying that's how come I be saying like, looking up at the Shire, hey, you can be looking up at yourself, bro.
That's beautiful.
You made it. You made it.
You made it. You're part of the elect.
Yeah, because in the kingdom you're gonna have that ability to jump. You know what I mean?
Right.
Jump around, do a bunch
Look
of
back
shit.
at the time.
Look
Go back at the time. You know what I'm saying?
See all that shit, man. Lord, well.
Except you said, Lord willing, they happen. To be a part of the elect, to be a part of the elect. But in the kingdom, I'm going to go back to the ancient times. There's a time
watch the whole thing.
Watch the whole thing.
Watch the
Watch
movie.
Watch the movie.
Yo, I wanna see the angels creating I wanna see all that shit because I got the time.
Yeah, I got the time to sit back and watch it while money's being made, while my slaves are doing what they're doing, while my food is being made.
It's movie night with the fam. Hey, movie night.
I'll be back in about 1,000 years.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go watch. I'll be back in 1,000 years.
So it says, their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood.
That's right, man. So guess what, man? There's gonna be dead bodies everywhere, man. All right, a tremendous amount of death, man, like you never seen on the earth, man. All right, and then you can read about the mountain.
It says, read it again. It says, this is Isaiah 34 verse 3. Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood.
Yeah, that's right, man. The mountains gonna be melted with their blood, man. All right, mountains going to the governments, right there. The mountains represent the governments, man. So guess what, man? These elites pushing for their new world order, right? All these countries trying to fight to see who is next. Guess what, man? All right, the government of Israel is next, man. All right, we're gonna rule forever and ever and even forever, man. All right, this is the last transaction, this last transition. That's how you can get that
So it's the end of the war, just present the fall.
the righteous dealers, which is not by disease, right? You know?
So it's back in Isaiah 34 and 4. All the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down as a leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a fallen fig from the fig tree.
Yeah, that's right, man. So all these armies, all right, all these armies, these world armies, man, they're gonna get utterly destroyed, man, utterly crushed, man. All right, in no time, man. All your technology that you see, that it seems to be so advanced, you know, because the Lord, give these heathens some shit. He gave Esau some shit, right? Some powerful shit. But guess what, man? You're gonna get utterly crushed. All right, when the Lord makes his return, man.
All right, it says, and the heavens. It's not talking about this one rulership. Esau has multiple rulerships on the earth. He has the top leadership of Esau's rulership is America. But what about the Russian counterparts of Esau? What about the seven heads of Esau's rulership? We're talking about France, Germany, Jermaine the Minor, all them love from over what? Great Britain. All the heavens should be rolled together, but certain parts of Great Britain is going to be destroyed. The whole of America is going to be destroyed. Certain parts of France is going to be destroyed. Certain parts of Germany is going to be destroyed. All of the gutter rats, Israeli gutter rats, they're going to be destroyed right along with America. So it says the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. It's the nuclear mushroom cloud, man. It says, and all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all the hosts of heaven shall fall down as a leaf falleth from the vine, as a falling fig from the fig tree. You got it? It says, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Adumia, and upon the people of my curse to judgment.
Yeah, that's right, man. So guess what, man? These nuclear missiles are gonna fly, man. All right, coming upon all I do here, man. Hey, guess what, man? These nuclear missiles, all right. The Lord created it, all right. He gave the Edomites the knowledge, all right, and they got puffed up with that pride, all right, creating all these powerful weapons. And guess what, man? The same weapons that they created, man, it's gonna fall upon them, man. It's gonna destroy them, man. All right, sir. Yeah, you can read that.
So, this is Ecclesiastes 10 and 8. Scripture you have called for. It says, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit.
Unrighteous dealings, man. This man, he speaks with a forked tongue, man. All right? Hey, this man just broke another problem 2 days ago. We was talking about with Iran, man. All right? Unrighteous dealings, man. You can't trust this man. He's not a man of his word. He's not a man of integrity and honor, man. All right? The so-called white man, he say anything. You gotta watch it.
Especially Amalek.
Yo, bro. Amalek, yo.
He's the worst of the heathen.
You know what I'm saying?
He's the worst. He's the worst of the heathen.
So, smile in your face. Hey, what you doing, my brother, my brother.
I tell you, God said that the worst of the heathen is these Amalekites, man.
Yeah.
They're the worst of all these different nations, man.
Fucking slime balls.
Rats.
They're rats.
Everybody call them rats.
Bro, I remember one time, I first joined the camp, I didn't know why they call them rats. You know, bro, I seen one of them dudes scurry off the bus. I'm like, oh.
Man, one time I was doing a lift, bro. I looked back, he was fucking laughing. Amalekite. I'm like, yo, he look like fucking rats.
I'm like, oh shit, they really rats. That's nuts.
And then when they skin me, they look like a rat. Look at
that right there, you remember that?
You can see
them doing that
rats do that. Rats do that. They be like when they
meme.
You know what I'm saying? That meme when they like that.
shit, bro.
Yeah.
And the smell, man. Like when they get wet,
Yep.
the smell. Yo,
You deal with the Amalekite bitches, huh? It says, Ecclesiastes 10:8, because of unrighteous dealings and injuries and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another.
From righteous dealings, injuries, riches got by deceit. This man is a thief. All right, stole all everywhere he goes, man. Everywhere he goes. All right, rape, robbery, murder, plunder. He's a fucking vampire pirate, bro. Like, who's this man? All right. So guess what, man? Because of all these infractions, guess what, man? Your time at the top, all right, your time of rulership, guess what, man? It's over. That's right? Be translated from one people to another, man. All right? From these Edomites, Amalekites, Esau, however you want to call them, all right, onto the true rulers of the earth, all right, the nation of Israel, man. All right? And we witnessing it right here. We watching the transfer of power right before our eyes, man. Right? That's why, brothers, we hype. We still under control, though. All right? We still under control, but at the same time, we watching this kingdom fall, man. All right? We in the last days of the last days, man.
And we see what's happening. Our boys are the people.
Right.
We see all kinds of shit happening at the same time. War is brewing. War is kicking off.
Yep.
So we're like, okay, the Most High is bringing. The Most High is striking that match.
Right.
The Lord is allowing shit to happen. He put the spirit on Esau to do these certain things. He put the spirit on Jake to protest. Because that protest is not about it's about immigration and ICE targeting Jake. They ain't targeting Albanians. They ain't targeting these Israelites over here. They ain't targeting these Hamites over here. They're not targeting these Polish people that's over here. They're only targeting Israel.
Yeah, but and you look at the two from this point of view, though, Biden opened up the borders.
Right.
It was 4 years of just letting everybody the fuck in.
That's
Like,
a plague.
it's like I'm saying, they set the shit up.
That's
So
a
they set,
plague.
bro. They I think there was averaging like 1 million people per year just flowing in.
But they did that for the votes. Because Biden thought that he was going to be re-elected to president again. So they did it for the votes because they was getting all these goodies and everything.
That's how come they had no voter ID, so so-called immigrants could vote. And for the Democratic Party.
It was all set up that way. It was all designed, man. We're not ignorant of Satan's devices. 2 Corinthians 2:11. Esau started with Joe Biden. Esau, the international bankers gave Joe Biden the marching orders to do that, man. Because he's dumb. He not too bright in the head. He didn't come.
They said that during his presidency, a lot of this shit was electronic signatures. So they was like, well, who's putting them electronic signatures?
Somebody was doing it.
Somebody was doing all the electronic signatures. So this right here is just a counter of all the shit that Biden did for 4 years. But mind you, and it shows you some bullshit because who deported the most immigrants was President Barack Obama.
Right.
Barack Obama, he's a so-called Democrat, right? So
Wait, think about Obama.
but the thing is this: Obama deported the most at the border. Trump is deporting people that's already in here. So
Right.
that's the real difference.
So
But how did they get in here?
Right.
You have 4 years of just and that shit made America. That shit turned America into pure chaos, bro. Like in terms of like cities that were once safe.
Right.
Like for example, you wouldn't see shootings and shit go down in downtown Manhattan.
yeah, by like 34th Street.
Why was that happening? Because people, them Jakes coming from a different country, they don't know this is Manhattan. You don't do that.
Right.
They just fucking, just robbing,
Shit,
killing.
make the whole shit hot.
Robbie went into a goddamn one of them stores, robbed the store, trying to rob a Jimmy shop.
And then they released them back out.
Right. Shoot that police.
And released them back. That shit was crazy, bro.
And then what they was doing is, remember all these that same girl again, down there. She looking for you. So what they was doing is, all these hotels was basically getting into contracts with DHS and other migrant shooter programs to bring the migrants in, and all these luxury hotels was where what? In Manhattan. In Manhattan. So they're just out there all day, all night, wreaking havoc. Cause like I used to work in the shelters, so I would see the shit they do at nighttime. And then if you're like, I've seen women like basically.
Those people that's being deported that you're talking about, not all immigrants just because they Jake mean they're fucking good people, bro.
Yeah.
A lot of motherfuckers is gangbangers and shit. And it does fuck it up for the Jakes that come here to try to make it all the stuff.
You know, at the same time, come here, you don't have nothing. All right, you might be out here doing some shit you never thought you would do for you to survive.
Nah, but they got no members, bro, from gangs and shit from other countries and brought them here. Because think about it, like who's you seeing people taking over Colorados and shit with M16? You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
It fucked it up for the Jakes that would come here was extremely trying to work.
Yeah, cause like and then like another shit that they would do is like, let's just say you came over here with like your woman and your kid, right? So the way they do it is in certain shelters. Let's just say they would like take that building, right? They'll put like the bottom floor where it's administration at, and they'll say, oh, the women and children will be on the bottom floor because it's safer. But then we'll put all the men on like the other floors, and then they'll divide it by nationality. There's been times I had to like go check people in, and the Spanish guy will be like, yo, I'm not going in this room because it's a bunch of Arabs in here, it's a bunch of Africans here, and then a lot of they started sectioning off the buildings by like your race, because it was too much chaos and fights going on. Then it's like, if your woman, I've seen it happen, like your woman will break up with you, they'll take you out the program, ship you somewhere else, and leave her with the kid, and then she gets with a new man.
And Esau was divided on that shit because you got certain states like Texas and Florida, they was like, we're not being no sanctuary cities. That shit ain't happening. But you have blue states like California, New York, that said we would be sanctuary cities. And guess what happened? They got fucked. That's like a Mayor Adams had to walk back the steps, one, to cover his ass, you know, Trump's bitch side, because he was about to get hemmed up. But it shit didn't work, bro. You want to be a sanctuary city for, you don't know what type of people you bringing in. They won't vet them, bro. They were just letting anybody in.
It goes back to what happened during the time of the early 80s, 81, and Scarface bring that out. When you watch Scarface with Al Pacino,
The very beginning.
it showed you how Cubans was being pushed over here, you know, and there was the dreads. It came clear that Fidel Castro was clearing out the jails and bringing and shipping over here the dreads of the undesirables that was in Cuba, criminals, drug dealers, gangbangers, you know?
Flushing the toilet, right?
Yeah, drug dealers, yeah. And that's when it became clear what Fidel Castro was doing, and it became clear what all these other nations been doing with these immigrants, you know? You got immigrants coming over here, and like the elder said, now all of them are law-abiding citizens. You got motherfuckers that's criminals coming over here, you know? Creating disturbances, robbing people, shooting people, raping women. All that shit was happening, right or wrong, bro? Yeah. All that shit was women getting raped. It showed a video of this woman walking, coming from work, 1 o'clock in the morning. Some dude with a mask on just came and grabbed her with a scarf, choked out, and took between cars and bust her ass, man. You seen the video, right?
Yeah.
Took her between the car and bust her ass, raped her right there, bro. That shit is crazy.
12 and 25.
So which one, Matthew?
12 and 25, Kingdom Divided.
Wow, yeah.
That's the same.
Matthew chapter 12, so 25, right? It says, Matthew 12 and 25, and Yahweh knew their thoughts, and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation.
That's right, man. So guess what, man? Ain't no United States in of America, that united, that that one thing that they had going on. Hell no, man, that shit is splintered, man. All right, with the coming of all these migrants. All right, this sanctuary city. Hey, man, New York City done with that, right? That sanctuary city shit.
Adams had to walk that back.
You know what I'm saying?
And when he went back on it, that's when the so-called Democrats turned on him.
Right, because
And that's why I wrote that whole article about him
taking bribes and everything. Because they was like, okay, you wanna play games, nigga? Okay, you think you above what we doing? Okay, we got you right now. We gonna bring these evidence against you, and we gonna have you in fucking legal trouble. But I think Donald Trump part of him or something.
Well, yeah, I mean, pretty much they didn't send prosecutors after him looking into that. But if you look at it, like, it only makes sense. Like, why would you want every country need? You know why? It makes sense what they're doing, because this whole plan of open borders, they tried it in the UK. Right. Let all the Muslims in, and they completely fucked their shit.
A lot of Africans
Yeah.
Muslim.
Yeah.
You gotta understand something. The reason why he had to backtrack, man, Evan Adams, because a lot of police was turning their back on him. They was turning them against him. They was murdering against him because of the fact that he was allowing these people to commit crimes against police, to commit crimes in.
They were coming in with buses, bro.
Yeah, and commit crimes in areas where people that's been here for years will never even consider doing, because 34th Street, 21st Street, that shit is Times Square. All that shit is like it's campus everywhere. Not only that, that's like a upscale part of New York City where you won't even dare to come out and commit no crimes.
Yeah.
But these niggas was so brazen that it was committing crimes down there.
Like, I've seen them literally come off the bus with the agency I was working for. They said, okay, we got like a bus coming, 2 buses coming, we got like 100 people coming, so we got to get ready to like sign them in, this and that. And it's like, it got so bad, they started like basically like renting out like abandoned schools. So there was this old school that's right on 34th Street. It's like across the street from Madison Square Garden. It's called Toro College, and next to that old college, it's like it's an abandoned like yard. So they started affiliating out there in the yard, taking that shit over, and then the people complaining, talking about it or whatever, and it's like, yo, like they was literally just taking over 34th Street.
They came and just they didn't see it like how people saw it, like this is 34th. And you know how I knew shit was changing? I was up in Scarsdale, and I saw these Venezuelan immigrants, because normally when immigrants come, they come to bust their ass.
Right.
These Venezuelan immigrants, this nigga was here, he's like, and he had a girl who's like, please give me just one little shoe for my daughter. I'm like, nigga, I'm not gonna buy that shit, you can sell it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was the hustle they was doing, like, just one something for my daughter, please. I'm like, this is different. Like, y'all was known for coming here and
Selling fruit, something.
Yeah. Now,
trying to create something like a foundation for themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
but now when you go, all you see them on the mopeds and like what the fuck is going on? Asking for money in different ways, scheming on people, doing rear end scams. All types of shit, bro.
Another thing
they'll reverse into you and be like, and get out the car. Remember that lady on the dash cam had her?
Yeah.
Boom! They reversed into her, got out like fucking 6 of them.
That's why you gotta have that dash cam.
And then the guy came out and was like, yo, and she was like, oh my God, she was on the phone with her husband. This guy that's real in me. I seen that video. And then when he realized that it was a dash cam there, the nigga was like, oh shit. He scratched his head and got back in the car and broke out. You know what I mean? He said, oh shit, the dash cam. You know, we caught, we busted.
No more side
Because
swipes game.
what she was doing was, she was driving, then all of a sudden a great car came, got in front of her, and it stopped and it's backed into it, like boom.
Yeah, so when you see people protesting about the immigrant, you have to understand their stance as well. Because I remember I was getting my hair cut, my barber was telling me, he was like, yo, my boy's a trucker. He was like, his boy has a trucking business. And he said on the truck, you do like $2,400 a week or some shit like that. He said, since they opened up the borders, you have people coming in doing his job for $400, and there's no documentation to send their money back to their own country. So you have people that have personal vested interest in wanting to get the immigrants out. So it's not like a complete total psyop in that way, where like everybody you see, you have people that generally, especially people at the border, like Arizona, what have you.
And then
they'll commit a crime at the border. You're like, yo, this shit gotta stop.
And then you had one instance whereas in the Bronx it was happening heavy. A woman with a child would knock on your door, right? It was happening up in the Bronx where they got like private houses.
Run up in your crib.
Yo, they had private houses, right? So a lady would knock on your door, ring the bell. You would see a lady with a kid, not knowing that, because she got like about 4 or 5 men hiding behind her. So you open the door, she has some money. So you pull out the money, they rush you and grab you and rob your house. Or some incidents take over your shit, you know what I mean?
Wow.
So they was doing that in the Bronx, you know what I'm saying? So, and then also, it started having a lot of cars being, Kias and Hondas being stolen. Or Coronas being taken out of their car because they was running, they was running amok.
They're saying fuck it, bro, because they'll go right back, you know.
Because if they get arrested, Mayor Adams is gonna let them out. But now,
2,100 protests in USA, Trump and GOP losing. A lot of them people's are paid for.
yeah.
You know it's bad when even Trump is saying those are paid actors, bro. Shit is crazy, bro.
And then George Soros,
the head of Walmart,
yeah,
the head of the Walton family.
yeah, they paying these people to do what they do too, you know, because I mean, they want these immigrants over here, man, for a particular reason. They could lowball them. They ain't gotta pay them, you know, what they want to pay them, what they demanded for. But now Donald Trump signed the law into effect. I saw it that $25 an hour is a minimum wage now.
Look at this shit, bro.
For real? Yeah.
See this?
Yeah, that's it.
There's a massive protest right now happening in Texas.
Already going up.
There's a massive protest happening in Texas, and this is what they're saying. They're saying, breaking Dallas, deep red, oil-soaked, and MAGA aligned is now flooded with anti-Trump protesters. A city once thought untouchable has joined the rebellion. The tide is turning. It's bullshit.
So I could read the scripture again.
They paying them people, bro.
Because Texas is like an independent state, you know what I'm saying? It's like independent, you know what I mean?
But it's a big ass land, so 2,100 people now means everybody's turning against Trump. Come on, that's cap.
Just a repeat. I
Go ahead, bro.
2 Corinthians 2:11. That Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Yeah, the adversary. If the adversary is not going to get an advantage of us, all right? We're not ignorant of his schemes, man. His schemes his schemes are to bring about more legislation, to bring about this Jacob's trouble, man.
There's cameras everywhere, so you can't just like
And to tighten things up, more security. That's why all these things are going on. We're not ignorant.
She was different. You could run these psyop schemes on people now. Everybody got a phone.
Yeah, and everybody can comment. Yeah, so this whole notion, I was reading, me and Judah was talking about it, one of the comments on that video was just like, no, they're not taking over. That's a liberal city with paid actors.
Yeah, crisis actors.
You give them $200 to hold a sign, people won't do that. Fuck $200, walk around with a sign. A lot of times they'll interview people, they be like, ask them questions, they don't even know why they there. You're just there for that money. It's just like when Kamala was running. She said, but Beyonce was going to perform. As soon as Beyonce came and didn't perform and left, you just saw mad people leaving. But to get the optics of, oh, look at the crowd, and you know what I'm saying? So
everybody's here for me. I got a lost fan base. I got a lost supportive group. But if they was really there for Beyonce, that concert that they thought was going to take place.
yeah, it didn't happen.
You know, that's when they left.
Finesse.
They was pissed off.
Genesis 3:1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field.
And that serpent is Esau and Edom, man. But he had color then. Back in Genesis, he had color, man.
Right. It says that any beast of the field, the beasts of the other nations, which the Lord had, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua had made.
Because to this very day, he's more subtle than any other nation out there. Mainly Amalek, man. Them motherfuckers are subtle to the max, man. And then they'll play victim at the same time to get the sympathy from the people. They'll do dirt and then play victim to get the sympathy. They play that Holocaust card. They play that I'm being persecuted card, man. Just to get the sympathy from the people. But meanwhile, they committing genocide, man. They doing all kind of atrocities, committing all kind of atrocities and getting away with it, man. because they play that victim card like women do. They do some shit. They play the victim card.
That's like somebody throwing a rock in a wasp nest, and when them fucking wasps start stinging, you say, "Yo, kill the wasp because it's attacking me," but you threw the fucking rock first.
Yeah.
Revelations 12:9, and the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil,
Which is Esau Edom. At the time he had color. But now, the Lord, he's the people, the Most High's curse. The Lord stripped him of his pigmentation. What he did, being a murderer, a lion, being a murderer, killing his brother, and being a lion, a thief. So you got stripped of your pigmentation, and now everybody can distinguish who you are. But throughout the process of time, everybody lost their identity, and everybody, through the confusion of everything that's happening, they're covering casting over people. That's when Esau came in slyly and started doing what he's doing and taking over identities. So Esau had to take over people's identities, man. This goes back even to when Esau took over Rome, took over the land of Japheth. Because the Romanists was of the Japhethites.
Romans and Remus, yeah.
They was
Japhetic.
They was Japhethites. They took over their land, and they became the Romans.
And then that's why you get the triumvirate, because Crassus, Julius Caesar, and Pompey, they was fighting over the top spot, and Julius Caesar, he wound up being the victor. And his brother's right about that. And they came back reincarnated as a Flavian dynasty.
That's right.
Titus, Domitian, Vespasian.
That's right. You got to understand that. You got to understand that because Pompey was the richest out of all of them.
See what I mean?
Says that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world.
And he came back into power in the late 1300s, early 1400s, and deceived the whole world, man.
Not the elect.
The whole world. At the time before the elect was woken up, we was once deceived. If we were part of the elect, we was once deceived until the Most High opened our eyes and gave us this truth. Now we can see right through this devil, man. But he was the one that deceived the whole world. The whole world wondered after him through his technology, through his deception, through iconoclasm, painting himself as being God.
And history is showing a lot of these wars, these devils had a hand in it. You know, the war in Ukraine, why? To take Syria. So there's been a lot of death and casualties, and these elite bankers in Israel, they'll run these psyops, and they don't give a fuck about the thousands upon millions of people that have lost their lives for their own personal self-interest.
That's right. And which man, Baba said, you always want to make money when blood is running in the streets. You know what I'm saying? That's the best time to make money, invest in money. And the Most High put the spirit on Vladimir Putin to open up that vote of the Russian icons, man. And everybody, he opened that vote and displayed that all the biblical characters were all men of color, man.
You saw what this fucking guy said? Speaking of Russia, Ukraine, Zelensky said, I hope that this issue in Israel and Iran doesn't stop funding to Ukraine.
He said that the first time in 2024 when they started fighting each other, and then they came to an agreement.
And it's just like, yo, why the fuck has Russia just really fuck them up? Like,
Because Vladimir Putin is showing restraint because he don't really want to do that because of resources,
Russians
man.
are Ukrainians. They're the same.
Yeah, so he don't want to really do that, but Zelensky, he's a goddamn crypto Jew, and he has no ties to these people. And plus, he's an actor. He's an faggot. And a cross-dresser. And a faggot, you're right. He has no ties. He has no ties to the Ukrainians, man. He's not Russian. He's not Ukrainian. He's a goddamn Amalekite, man. He's a Jew.
Yep. It says, call the devil, and Satan was deceiving the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him.
And that means that's going into how it has nothing to do with the spiritual demon Satan cast out into the world and his angels with him. No, that's talking about Esau and his voodoo shit, man. Esau and his military, that's what it's talking about. It's not talking about no spiritual demon Satan. The spiritual demon Satan has a spiritual counterpart.
And you could cut him with this.
Slakia has a physical counterpart on the earth, man. Slakia.
And you could cut him with this. Okay, well, if there's a one heaven, which one? Because there's more than one. That's how you just chop their asses real quick.
Heavenless means rulership, man.
You got more than one heaven.
Heavenless means rulership.
Third heaven is a spiritual realm. That's not taking place here.
Which is the fourth dimension. Everybody's in complete order, man.
No, bro, the scriptures tell you there's no counsel against the Lord, bro. Like, this.
Because the Lord, He's working both sides. He's allowing these devils to do what they do. He's allowing these protesters to protest. Everybody that's coming over here, all these immigrants from these different Latin tribes that's coming over here, some coming over here to learn the truth and coming to the phone, and majority of them coming over here to get fucked up in judgment. That's all. That's it. Bottom line. Some very few coming over here to learn who they are, to come back to the fold, and the majority of people coming over here are criminals, misfits, degenerates, rapists doing what they do, not having no care, no respect for law, no respect for humanity, and they come over here and they getting judged. That's what they come over for, to be judged. Not everybody is like that, but majority of people coming over here from these different Latin tribes, they criminals, man. Drug dealers. What you call that? Sleeper cells to be activated when needed. Like most of these protesters most of them are sleeper cells, man.
Yeah, well, it came out that during the January 16th. First of all, how is it's a peaceful protest, but we won't wear masks? It was a peaceful protest.
But you gotta hide your face.
Well, you gotta hide your face.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So these protests, they're infiltrated, bro. Like I said, you can have real people show up, but only means about 10, 13 people to start doing some illegal shit.
Yeah. Right now,
And lumping, see what's going on, and
like I
nobody's
said,
buying that shit.
cut. Like I said earlier, I was doing a show in my car coming over here to camp, and I was saying to myself, speaking out, you know, I was like, right now I was watching global news, different news outlets, Al Jazeera, go to global news, and it was showing Texas, LA. The dude had the screen in 4 parts: Texas, LA, you know, Philadelphia, and Washington D.C. And it was peaceful protests. It was early. Who knows what's happening right now, man? Because they shipping these agent provocateurs and something peaceful going on. I would say it only takes 1 or 2 or probably 10 people to start throwing Molotov cocktail bombs or rocks and busting people in the head, you know, before shit get violent, like real violent. Police call in, now you got the riots gear, people, and now they fighting police. It only takes a few people to do that, to set that off. Those are agent provocateurs, man. Once again, 2 Corinthians 2:11 come into effect. We are not ignorant of Satan's devices. We know how this devil works, man. Never let a crisis go to waste, man. Always take advantage of the crisis that's ahead of you, man. That's right there, presenting to you. Take advantage of that shit, man. We could bring in unjust laws.
Where the outlook is most miserable, John 10%.
And then that way we could bring in unjust laws or unrighteous decrees, draconian laws. To countermeasure these things that's happening, that we created, that we funded.
Yo, these missiles actually hitting people that they shooting or what?
I don't know.
They shot missiles in Iran, shot missiles again, impacting Haifa, but
They said that they're gonna.
their bodies out.
I don't know. That could be artificial AI right there. I don't know. That's why it's hard to distinguish right now.
No, it's real because there's people recording this shit.
But where's the bodies at?
Like, but sometimes it look like Iran is just doing that shit to show, look, we're shooting back, but they're not targeting, like,
They're shooting at just like empty spaces.
yeah, type shit.
But what they really need to do is go hard to show Israel and listen, we ain't playing with y'all no more, man. But they scared of America. They're scared, but they get the backing of Russia and China. What the fuck you scared of, man?
Because
I don't understand this shit.
the war can't happen until the chip becomes mandatory.
Exactly, but it happens, but
Man, pussy.
second out, World War III is not going to take fully charge, fully in full effect. We in the beginning stages of World War III, bro. But it's not going to take a full effect until this shit is being mandatory throughout the whole world. We all know that.
They're saying at least 14 people were injured in the Western Galilee after an Iranian ballistic missile attacked the Megan David Adome Medical Service reported the death toll is unknown yet.
It's going to come out because Esau, especially these gutter rats, they like to suppress information. Don't let this go out. Don't let this get, because they don't want to seem like Iran is bringing destruction. Because Iran got ballistic missiles. Iran got hypersonic missiles. Iran got drones. They allies with North Korea. They allies with China. They allies with Russia. You don't think they got a military alliance and a financial alliance? You don't think they being helped financially and militarily, man? They're part of fucking the BRICS. Come on.
Oil is spiked. It said oil markets react sharply to escalating Middle East
$120 a barrel.
It said WTI crude is now forecast to hit 94.10 by year end, up over $21 in a week, according to Calcium Markets.
They said that the crude oil was up to $120 a barrel. That was as of yesterday when I was in the laundromat. I was watching on my phone. I don't know how much it is today. It could be more, because Israel want to target the oil fields of Iran, which is going to spike oil up until over $150 a barrel. That's going to be crazy right there, man. Imagine that. Imagine that, $150 a barrel. Come on, that's going to be crazy, man. And
that's what I was thinking too. Like, if Iran really want to fight Israel and really fuck the whole world up, it gotta be economic. Shut down the
Strait of Hormuz, man. Shut that shit down, man.
That's when China will have to step in, because China relies on that oil too. And China, again, say what you want about China, but they're the second largest economy in the world. So they have to do an economical fight right now. Economical fight if they really want to hurt Israel.
And my thing is, if Iran was really, Iran is, I don't know why they got the major backing of China and Russia. Why the fuck you scared of America, man?
America's more powerful, bro. America, like, think about it, bro. Like, we just said China's the second largest economy with like 14 trillion. The United States has close to double that, bro. Close to. So it's very powerful, man. It's a very powerful. That's why you gotta count the cost.
And that's where that pride come in.
Like I said, like
know.
for them to just say fuck it, they have to have a suicidal mind. Because once you fuck with America, it's done.
They're gonna bomb you to oblivion.
It's done.
They're gonna bomb the fucking shit out you. Relentlessly. They're gonna do that shit. It's like they got enough bombers to fucking bomb you. This shift come in and bomb you. Another shift come in and bomb you. Another shift come in and bomb you.
Israel was smart, bro, because, well, it's all prophetic anyways, but they said, fuck it, we're not the largest nation, but if we could compromise the largest nation, we become the largest. We're pretty much the most powerful.
And you got a lot of rich Amalekites, you know what I'm saying? The Lord have it like that. A lot of these.
There's some scriptures come on.
Right.
You got that? I got something.
Got you. Revelations 11 and 18. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come. And the time of the dead that they should be judged. Who the nation? Nations are angry, all these nations, because America, the so-called white man got their fucking feet on their neck, or they intervening and they got them in they dead them on deals, they fuck up their money through trade embargoes, and the list goes on. And in the time of the dead, these other nations are waking up. Iran, right? The ancient Persians, right? These nations are waking up back in that war state mind, but they're dead anyway. And that let me read that again. That they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets, that's the elect, and to the saints, the elect, and them that fear thy name, the elect. The name got to be feared and pushed, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. That is Esau, you Caucasians. Those are the ones starting with the elite. Those are the ones that's destroying the earth. Because so-called Negro Latinos and Native Americans don't have a say so in what's being pushed throughout the earth.
Yeah,
all right? We're wounded. We don't have a say so. You know what I mean? You got it.
Ephesians 5:15. See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise.
So we gotta be aware, circumspect. We gotta be aware of our surroundings. Or 360 degrees. All right? Everywhere.
Back of your head.
That's right.
Right about that.
You know what I mean?
It says, redeeming the times, because the days are evil.
The bad times. The days are evil. You know, everything's in darkness, man. That's why the elect, Lord willing, we the elect, we got the lamp, the law.
so we could see what's going through everything that's going on.
Oh shit!
And spiritually, we got that sight like the owls, man.
I got that scripture.
All right.
I got that scripture.
Okay.
Since you said that, Revelations 3:18. I counsel thee to buy of me gold tried in the fire, that thou mayest be rich, and white raiment, that thou mayest be
Law,
clothed.
statutes, and commandments, and gold. We going under spiritual fire, so we won't be judged with the world, because there's gonna be a purging spiritually or physically. 2/3 of our people gonna be purged in the nuclear fire. Most of them in the nuclear fire to be cleansed and come through the elect on the other side. So a purging and the fire is gonna take place.
It says, I counsel thee to buy of me gold tried in the fire, that thou mayest be rich, and white raiment, that thou mayest be clothed.
White raiment, that's that robe of righteousness. You know, we lost that in the garden. All right? That's why I say they were naked. They wasn't talking about clothing, talking about their righteousness. Right? And they were exposed through the prophets, the voices.
The scripture says, put on righteousness like a robe.
That's right.
It says, in white raiment, that thou mayest be clothed, and that the shame of thy nakedness do not appear.
The shame of thy nakedness do not appear. So we gotta rehearse the righteous acts on a day-to-day basis all the time. You know what I mean? We gotta weigh out. So only the subway, all right? We gotta weigh out. We gotta move the same way, whether we were on a brotherhood or not. You know? And you see, he didn't say nothing because he saw me. I wasn't around the brotherhood. You know what I mean? He saw me. He saw me warning somebody about some paint that probably was on the wall in the bathroom. You know what I mean? See, it's somebody who's always watching.
It says that thy nakedness do not appear, and anoint thine eyes with eye salve.
Anoint the eye salve. So you can see what's going on.
Measuring the time.
Measuring the times, all right? And then you also, you got the agents watching us. Well, we're not doing anything wrong. You know what I mean? You watch us.
Right.
Shit, watch us. Let me know. Somebody try to steal my shit or whatever. You know what I mean? Why watch us? You're just gonna be walking in circles. You know what I mean? You ain't going. I'm not using no weapons. I'm not trying to hurt nobody. So you just wasting your goddamn time.
That's how come we don't come out here in no carnal spirit. So they can't throw up a video, see they said that. No, we always, on record, always tell you to be law-abiding citizens, pay your taxes, listen to the police if they fucking pull you over. Because what? If you out here with guns and shit like the Sakari camp, then that AI job's gonna be easy.
That's right.
You just wasting your time. To the world, we live a boring life. You got it.
That's right. That thou mayest see. That's it.
All right, yeah. So we see because the world is in darkness, man. They don't know what's about to go down. They have no clue of what's about to happen, man. They're in their comfort zone.
They was caught up in the NBA playoffs.
No, I'm so sorry.
I said they was caught up in the NBA playoffs,
Yeah.
BT awards.
Who won the NBA playoff? I don't even know.
That's
Me
still
either.
going. It's still going.
All right, because I knew the Knicks lost and that was it.
Of course.
That's my team, unfortunately.
But they went far this year, the furthest in a
I
while.
just know that, I don't keep track of none of that shit. That's why I don't even know. You know what?
It's a lot of games.
This lady told me the
that
other day, she was like, even my daughter, she was like, Happy Father's Day. I was like, when is Father's Day? She said, you don't know what Father's Day is?
Yeah, that's just tomorrow. I forgot about it until somebody reminded me.
I said, nah, not really. She was like, you bullshitting me? I said, nah. I don't. So you have children, you have a daughter. She'll be 29 this month. Actually, this month. She was like, so you ain't know what's Father's Day. I said, I'm telling you, I don't think about it. But everybody know when it's Mother's Day.
Word, yep.
Oh, yeah.
Months in advance.
Now, let me tell you this right here. Now, on day before Mother's Day, right? I even bought it at camp. Yeah, there was a line with this Mexican woman. She was smiling from ear to ear, selling these balloons with flowers and everything, with teddy bears. Smiling from ear to ear. She had a cheese line. Men, women, they was buying that shit, right?
How much it cost?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know because I didn't buy it. I walked by, I was like, damn. And then I saw it today. I didn't see that same Mexican woman out there. I didn't see nobody out there. But
Women associated with shopping and gifts and shit. Fathers don't give a fuck about that, really.
yeah, but guess what though? You seen the men out there buying gifts for the women, but you ain't seen the women out there buying gifts for the men.
Well,
See what I'm saying? Who cares about Father's Day, man? Not even women cares about Father's Day, man. Because it's not designed for them to care.
Yeah, and I'm not celebrating that, but men like things. We like Rolexes. It don't gotta be a gold one. It could be a steel one. Yeah, I don't got no kids, but I'm just saying, yo.
I'm just saying,
Yo, Father's Day should be a day where your wife say, hey, go have fun for the day. Whatever bitch you want, just go knock her down.
Nah, that ain't gonna happen.
That'll never happen,
bro. That
But
ain't gonna happen.
hey, look, I'm just saying what fathers want, but they not gonna. They ain't gonna let you really get.
Well, I got a precept, you know what I'm saying? Going back to the scriptures, you see, and going back to what the brother was saying, you gotta be on point. You gotta watch everything. You gotta be on, because a lot of shit is happening. This is the 2 Ezra chapter 9, verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the times diligently in itself. When thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, going to Matthew the 24th chapter, the 5th verse on down, those are part of, you can connect that with this verse right here. It says, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin the vision of the world which he made. And it says, therefore when there should be seen earthquakes and upwards of the peoples, we now see it to this very day, we see earthquakes in diverse places happening, and upwards of the people happening throughout different states in America and throughout the world. We see these things. We know that the Most High is about to visit this world. You know? And it says, there should thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world, the beginning, stop, read it again. For like as all that is made in the world have a beginning, and the end is manifest. Even so also the times of the highest have plain beginning and wonders and powerful works, and the ending and effects and signs. And we see all this happening, man. We see everything happening, and it's happening gradually. The Lord is allowing things to speed up. The Lord has spoken that flame. And putting the spirit on Jake to do what they doing, putting the spirit on Easter to do what he's doing.
Ain't there protests downtown, some shit like that?
Yeah,
I saw people with signs, fuck ICE.
Downtown, good time I had,
Yeah, but people was on TikTok saying, yo, they give me $200 to go down and hold a sign and shit.
Yeah.
So it's funded.
Yeah, but it's funded by Rupert Murdoch, by
Soros,
George
the
Soros,
Walton
by
family.
the Walton family, also by this dude Bill Gates. They have their agenda. So they billionaires. So funding, giving $200 a head or $300 a head or $500 a head.
And it's in the blue states. Los Angeles, it's called a No Kings rally.
Yeah.
Los
Yeah.
Angeles, Chicago, New York, blue states.
Pennsylvania, all these are blue states. You know what I'm saying? These are states that Democrats run. So you got to understand something.
Somebody should arrest them all.
Yeah, I mean, you ain't gonna be able to do that, man. But because therefore, if you want to arrest them all, arrest everybody that's funding it too.
I'm gonna say this, bro. I'm gonna say, I'm not like most of these sides of Edomites. But one thing I say is this, bro. The left is so hypocritical. Because it's like they be like, let's do shit peaceful and let's do that. But they're the ones that's, you get what I'm saying? Like, in other words, when the blue team won, you ain't see the Trump side doing all this shit, like marching and protesting and paying people to come and shit. They don't do that.
See what the blue side does, and people that funds these activities, what they would do is they will fund the protesters, pay people to hold signs up and protest. Then they will bring in agent provocateurs to create havoc.
All you gotta do is look at the difference, right? Look at January 6th versus like when the January 6th protest had, like the red side, whatever protest, they didn't have masks. It was like old people and shit. They had their red hat on, and they went in the Capitol building just walking around because that side is not like that side, the red side, whatever. They more like follow the laws of the land type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. But the blue side, which are the Democrats,
They're like, fuck it.
they
They'll burn the whole city down talking about this peaceful process.
they'll burn the city down just to get their agenda across.
Facts.
Just to get their agenda across, to get their laws signed in effect, and
Not in a shitty ass neighborhood.
They have you loot and riot your own.
your
Shit is
own
wild, bro.
destroy your own neighborhood.
Yeah, they'll tell you destroy your own neighborhood if you a brick in your hand and destroy your own neighbor. Like,
But make sure you don't go to Scarsdale with this shit. Make sure you stay out of the neighborhoods that got, the prominent neighborhoods that got money. You destroy your own shit. Don't worry about that. We're going to get you $200 to hold a sign
my
and
whole
the
shit
place
is this
happen.
too. Like, another thing too is the red side. They're not paid to be out there. Like, you see how Trump will have that huge crowd? That's just Edomites that believe in whatever the fuck they believe in. They're not paid to be out there. When you watch Saturday when they shot at this dude, like, they didn't run. Like, they all ducked down because they know when you run it creates more chaos, because the red side is more like, they know more like military shit. They're the type to run like military drills with their family and all chaos prepping
In the
and
mountains, prepping and all that shit, you know what I mean?
yeah, so when shots fired, if that was niggas, you know what I mean? But these Edomites, they already know, like, everybody are down. Call, they
And
prep
if
for
you
that
running,
shit.
you supposed to zigzag if it's a
See,
shot.
but what Eastern does, right? The blue states, right? It's usually poor people. People that's dependent on the government. It's usually poor people. So we go back to 2nd Ezra 9:1 real quick. It says, even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonders and powerful works and effects and signs, and everyone that shall be saved, talking about the so-called elect, the hopeful elect, and everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works, coming out here on the highways and the byways, doing the will of the Lord, doing that which is right in the eyes of the Most High, and by faith shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by, let me read that again. Everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby he hath believed shall be preserved from the set purpose and shall see my salvation in my land and from my borders, for I have sanctified them for me from the beginning. That's the elect. Let's go do the work of the Most High, come out here and prophesy in season, out of season, you know, and have faith in the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah, with his works. But the Tudors ain't gonna do that, man. They're gonna depend on Esau, they dead.
You go for it. You go for it.
Isaiah 16:2. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the peoples. It's like going back into what you were talking about earlier,
Yeah.
having that eye salve. Understanding the scriptures, having the laws act as a lamp to your feet so you can walk. That's how come we're not out here protesting. Like, look at these other camps marching when shit go down.
Mainly
None of that.
ICPK.
ICPK, IUIC. You know, look, them niggas is getting into scuffles and fights and shit. So we don't do any of that. You know what I'm saying? Because we like, nah, that's a psyop.
You don't see Great Mill Soul getting into fights with upper camps, you know? Going head up with upper camps, boxing them out, fighting them, and getting into brawls in the streets. Man, that shit is crazy, bro.
Just move.
You know, we don't do that,
Just
man.
move, just move.
We don't.
If they come out here, they don't know we want to set up here now.
Okay, all right.
Whatever, go ahead.
Have
I
at it,
said
man.
shalom to one of them dudes, and you know, I know he one of them Nate dudes. I remember seeing him a lot. I just said shalom. That nigga said, yo, he just looked at me. I said, my fault. I thought you was an Israelite. He said, I am. Where your fringes at? I said, from work. He was like, yeah, but when you getting off the job, you put them on. The stupid motherfucker didn't know that I was going to another job doing a little side hustle. So why? He didn't know that. I was gonna put up some flyers out.
But why would you have after work?
Meanwhile, you have a fucking lineup.
Right?
Israel razor bumps.
This shit was
sharp.
it looked like it was airbrushed.
So
But nah, he had a bed, but this shit was perfect.
So here it is.
But yo, let me.
All right, slap it.
But yeah, so I'm with a coworker, and I'm like, yo, I say, yo, you see, he's like, damn, you look like you have beef with him. I'm like, yo, you know what I do. You with another scepter. So it was blah, 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 blah. I was like, yo, let me ask you something. Is it smart I had my fringes on? He said, nah. He was like, nah, cause look, the job we at, motherfuckers nosy. Niggas gonna crack jokes and make something out of it. He was like, that wouldn't be smart. You know what I mean? Like, yo, now if you got people in the world that know that, and he an older Jake, he in the 60s, got some sense. So he like, yo, I'm like, yo, would it be smart? Cause he be helping me do flyers and shit, you know, side hustle after work. So, yeah, but you know.
So here it is, bro. Here it is. After I get off
That's
my
what I
job,
get
right?
for being nice.
So after I get off my job, right? I get out of my job, walk into the parking lot, go to my car. I just take out of my back. I take out my back pocket my garment and put it on and start walking to my car.
go, bro.
I mean, come
And
on.
guess what? The head of all the regions, not all the time, but they can pop up at the job. And he's an Edomite. You think it would be smart for me to have that shit on?
Hell.
I mean, but who would do that anyway? Even if it was a Jake.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because he might be a Tom. I mean, a Sambo.
For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth. And that's why the Lord said you gotta be wise as serpents. These niggas are foolish. Where your fringes at? Dummies. It says, for behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness with people. But the Lord shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee.
Yeah,
I got a precept to back you up with that right there. That's a beautiful precept. Gross darkness catching over the whole earth. And that's an angel that's doing that to blind people from seeing what's going on. And also that's directed toward the 2/3. The angel is blinding them, but they can't see this truth, man. And this is Isaiah 6:9. It's going into how the Lord has blinded 2/3 from receiving this truth, man. This is Isaiah chapter 6, verse 9. And it reads, and he said, go and tell this people, hear ye indeed, but understand not. You can break it down, huh? Hear ye see what it says, and you can say, and he said, go and tell this people, hear ye indeed, but understand not.
Yeah, indeed, but understand not. Like they can listen to what we're saying, but they don't get it. Just like if you walk by somebody speaking a foreign language, Spanish and shit, yeah, you're hearing them, but you don't understand what they're saying. You know what I'm saying? So no matter how much we try to break down these scriptures to Jake to wake up, to let them know who the enemy is, to let them know to be circumspect of certain things, if the Most High doesn't unlock their mind, their pineal gland to it, they'll never get it.
It says, and see ye indeed, but perceive not.
Yo, shit is clear as day, bro. I mean, the stuff that we're saying, like at one time you'd be like, oh, you know, technology's not there yet, but now the technology's there, everything is there, the war is there, and they still don't believe. But you know what? That's how come this thing is not a thing of seeing, the thing of believing, faith. But faith is a gift in itself from the Most High.
It says, verse 10, Isaiah 6, verse 10, make the heart of this people fat.
Yeah, so wait a minute. The Lord don't want them to get it. What King David said? King David said, let their table be made a snare.
The table is this truth.
Exactly. So the same way you would sit and dine and eat, it's supposed to be like awesome. Where you get down a nice, bust down a meal. That's how it is when you get in these scriptures. You know, it's like a meal. You enjoyed it. But King David said, fuck it, let them choke on the bones. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happens. Now you got people in the world, they open up this Bible in the name of Jesus. It's completely gone. You know what I'm saying? What?
It says, make the heart of this people fat and make their ears heavy.
The heart is not talking about the one that's pumping. All right, it's talking about their brain. Yeah. In the Hebrew word is lab. The laboratory up here where everything goes down, make that shit hard. Make it to where like they just can't get it. So you have the first people you try to tell about the truth when you come in your family. And you find out
that they
just like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? They just can't fucking get it.
And
I'd be very surprised if somebody come with a truth and you sit down with your pops or your moms and they just like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. So you're not gonna see that shit.
Because even during the time he had two brothers in the truth, and two brothers that was not in the truth.
Yeah.
Simon and Joseph, and James and Jude was in the truth. With Yahweh, and they got books to prove it. You know what I mean? In the scriptures. You know.
So there's all family.
The closest you gonna get is your family just saying, no, okay, we gonna respect what you do, and then they just don't give you help.
Yeah, keep it like that.
You know?
That's a blessing, bro.
Yeah, because the Lord blessed me when I first came in. My mom would always just watch my son for me on a Saturday. Or if she was cooking dinner, she'll like cook something with shrimp and then she'll cook my food separate. Or when holidays, she was like, oh, like, I know you don't celebrate your birthday, but, you know, just tell your friends come over and I'll still cook or whatever. So the Lord has blessed me when my mom was like, you do what you do. I'm not going to come against it. Yeah. I'm going to leave it alone. She don't try to feed my son none of the bullshit. Because my son, like other day, my son was like, Dad, like, why I can't have no shrimp? I'm like, listen. He was like, oh, grandma eating shrimp and she ain't die. I'm like, well, listen, right? grandma gonna do what grandma gonna do, but you gonna do what I tell you to do, and that's what it is. We don't eat certain food, and he's like, okay, because he's gonna inquire like, oh, my dad's telling me I can't eat this because it's unhealthy and I could die. Right? So, but he's like, oh, but look at grandma. She's fit. She still eats shrimp. And I'm like, well, grandma's her own person, but this is how we're going to conduct stuff. And he's like, well, okay.
The Lord said
that. Yeah,
So now, if he grasps onto that, he don't eat shrimp since he was born, right?
Yeah, no.
He don't even know how it tastes. So
Yeah.
why even inquire about the taste?
It's just, we in the world. And he's around people. He's going to see stuff and always inquire like, but they doing this. Why I can't do that? That's what it is.
Certain things that I never indulged in, why inquire about indulging in it unless somebody's in your head?
That's why I said that you could teach your young ones whatever it is when they get in school or when they not out of your sight. They got to deal with the elements in the environments. You know?
Yeah, that's
like you got to already let them know. Like when they go in school, you don't celebrate birthdays or these holidays, but when they in school, they're going to have them Christmas parties. Not your children, but they're going to have that. It's going to be pushed.
Yo, look up Michael Irvin's son. You know Michael Irvin?
Yeah.
Famous football player, Hall of Famer.
Fucking wide receiver. That I tell you,
he's a great.
Now I tell you, I'm gonna score 4 touchdowns on your ass today. He'll do it, man.
Right. So he has a son. He was on a show. He was like, my son raps. His name is Tut. Like Rashad. He said his name is Tut Tarantino. He said, I don't understand. He gets on wax and talks about all this violent shit, but he grew up in a mansion. You know what I'm saying? He grew up. You know what I'm saying? He's like, his real name is Elijah Irvin. So, but it's just like what you're talking about. It's like he tried to bring him, nice house, suburbs, gated community. Try to get him into sports, but this nigga from what is around him wants to rap hood, and everybody keeps calling him a comic boy. Like, yo, people rap to get out the hood, nigga. You rapping to get in the hood, like. But it's from being around and.
It's
being
promoted
around
as
the boat.
it's promoted as being the hood and shit is promoted as being exciting. You know what I mean? It's promoted as being like
it's cool. It's cool.
It's the company he's keeping, bro. That's all it is, bro. It's the company that he's keeping, bro.
It's like the brother was saying. It's like Michael Irvin is trying hard to put this kid. He was like, I remember he was sitting down. He was like, yo, we had to get up and run 6 miles a day. And he was like, oh, the guy was like, oh, word. He was like, yeah, man, that's the type of life we were living. Like, that's a struggle. Nigga, your pops getting you up early to run miles in a gated community. How is that a struggle? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's shit like that you're talking about. The parents could be really trying to. Michael Irvin was like, this nigga's rapping the life I live. I'm trying to get you away from that.
Like when I go to get coffee or whatever, I fucking leave the hood. A lot of brothers be like, yo, I dip out. I dip out of the fucking hood. You know what I mean? They try to just. Who the fuck wants to be chilling on a block and shit like that? This shit is stupid.
Hey, Lil Wayne said years ago, stupid nigga, only thing in the hood is you.
Oh, maybe when I was 16 or whatever. I grew up though.
You know what?
They try to make that shit cool. Like, yeah, I'm in the hood, nigga. I'm in the project, nigga. I hook the block, nigga. I never leave my block.
Holding the block down. Nigga, you ain't holding no block down, nigga. How you holding the block down, man? Jackie just bugged out, man. You made a point, right? Because not only that, I heard Mike Tyson, he was going into how his son, he gave him the opportunity to learn how to box. But at first, before, he didn't even want to do that. So he was like, yo, man, I mean, this is a good little bit of business you can get into, you know what I'm saying? Instead of trying to live off me or trying to go out there and do your own thing that's going to lead you to trouble, I don't want you to end up like I was. When you look at Mike Tyson and his upbringing in the early 80s, that dude hung around nothing but a bunch of murderers. That speaks a lot, man. Remember Hamo? You do Hamo?
Yeah, homicide.
He hung around,
Glaze.
Check it out. Brian Glaze, Gibbs, all them dudes, man.
Well, that nigga was in Brownsville Projects.
Yeah, he lived in he's from Brownsville. He used to hang out, he showed number pictures with nothing but a bunch of known murderers. So what did I tell you about Mike Tyson? Huh?
Yeah.
People are known by the company they keep. So what did I tell you about Mike Tyson? I'm not saying he's a murderer, but he was a gang-banging motherfucker. You know what I mean?
He'll knock a nigga out, bro.
And not only that, when he become a professional making millions, you don't think he was funding these dudes' enterprises getting money off that shit on the low? Come on, bro. Think about this shit, bro. You hang around with a bunch of gang-banging niggas, but you a professional boxer. You left the hood, but you support these niggas. He admitted. To this very day, he go see Tut. Tut got life in prison.
He got out.
He got out?
Yeah.
I didn't even know he got out. I thought he had the first.
He got out. His woman they got the podcast.
Oh shit, I didn't even know.
His woman set up the podcast for him. Yeah.
Who gave him the fund to get that podcast?
I don't know about all that.
Okay.
One Isaiah?
Yeah. Shit. Okay, this dude got millions, man. I don't put nothing past this nigga, man. It says back in verse 11. Man, if I'm gonna go back to verse 10. Make the heart of this people fat and make their ears heavy and shut their eyes lest they see with their eyes and hear with their ears and understand with their heart and convert and be healed.
Right, and we just wrote about that. The dark will shut their eyes, right? I always give the analogy, right, where between the 1/3 and the 2/3 concerning this darkness, right? Because the 1/3 is an individual, the lights are off, he can't see, and he's trying to find where the fuck shit is at. But he can't see.
Turn that light on.
He turn that light on, he's gonna be happy, like, oh shit, thank you, bro. But the 2/3 is a motherfucker that's sleeping nice and comfy in that darkness. So you flip that light on, nigga, turn the light on.
You're gonna cut it back out, man.
Yeah, he gonna cut it back, exactly. So that's how it is when it comes to this truth. When you bring it up, you know, the Lord, a man of the Lord, and this is like the man the Lord is dealing with, he's gonna be like, oh shit. That's how come I was always wondering about the UFOs or whatever the fuck he's gonna say, you know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing, man.
Yeah, man, yeah, come, man. You know, you start wondering when inquiring minds, you know, the most I put the spirit on to inquire, to learn. It says, then verse 11, then said I, how long? And he answered, until the cities be wasted without inhabitants and the houses without men.
Pretty much so they destroyed.
And the land be utterly desolate. Terminal of destruction.
Yes, in other words, these niggas ain't gonna wake up until it's, you know what I mean? Judgment day.
Crazy.
That's when they're gonna wake up and they kick them in their right mind, and everything's gonna make sense. Definitely. Legs didn't match the eyes.
It says that was it right there. That was it basically.
So our people who are bugged out right now, and whatever madness they into, man. You got our people in this Pride Month. You got a lot of Jakes out there doing backflips and twirling and shit,
That's
man.
how you know shit is crazy, right? I seen this girl like going to junior high school because I take the same bus. She got fucking tattoo on her arm. Like I'm like, yo, you in junior high, you gotta be 12, 13, and 14. You know what I mean? Even if you're a super senior, 15.
I'm on
You know what I mean? So I'm like, yo.
I remember niggas
I'm like, yo, this shit is wild.
My freshman class.
You know what I mean? Yeah, so it's the parents, man.
That's why we ain't got no father in the house. Most 80% of the black youth, the so-called black youth, don't have a father in the house, man.
Your woman should not be raised like, yo, bro. There's certain shit, like, man, I'm glad I'm in my daughter's life, bro. Cause I'm like, there's certain shit my wife doing, I'm like, man, yo, cause in their mind, they think disciplining the kid, oh, don't be so hard, but yeah, you gotta do that. You have to, you know what I mean?
Now, right?
Yeah. She, you know what I mean? Like, yo, it's like,
Thank God for the ass.
yeah, bro. But
Me too. I said that to
the
myself.
man will make that decision. You know what I'm saying? Like,
They gone for the ass whoopers that I got from my pops, man. It made me the man I am today.
It's something called healthy fear, man.
And I didn't do certain things because I knew that the consequences that as I got older and I was in the streets and I got shot up, I knew that the Lord did that to me. So I became consciously aware of things I shouldn't do, what I shouldn't do. So I fell back from the streets, man. Fuck that. Fuck that.
Yep, and the thing is, before I even spoke to this brother, I at least seen him 10 years before I even said a word to him. Always did his job, never fuck with nobody. I didn't know this brother then, so I didn't intervene. I remember I saw the fucking police fucking with him when he was in front of his job. And I know they would have said something to me if I'd have been like, if I'd have been like, nah, because I see this brother working, busting his ass.
That day.
And I'm sorry for blabbering, but the fucking police fucking with him. He's in front of his job on his break. I know he on a break. You know what I mean? I see him lifting that heavy shit all the time and all of that. You know? It took me like 10 years to just say something to him. You know what I mean? I was in
That was in the spirit.
I say, yo, I'm coming for your job.
I started laughing. He said, I'm just messing with you, bro. And then all of a sudden, I'm watching YouTube, I'm watching the videos, and I see this brother teaching. I'm like, yo, that's the spirit, bro. Yeah, that shit was crazy, man. It was crazy, man. It was a crazy experience I had with this mother.
Romans 11:7. It says, "What then? Israel has not obtained that which he seeketh for."
Yeah, a lot of our people, they haven't received that what they seeking for. You got all of these brilliant, so-called brilliant minds, Neil deGrasse Tyson, Degrassi, all these people, yet they in these different philosophies, religion, academia, but they haven't found the truth that they're looking for, the answer to all of life, how everything started, what's this and that, when it's Yahweh Bashem Yahushai.
Why they in the condition
And they
they're in?
didn't get it. Another thing, why they in the condition that they're in, or if there was a God or whatever, well, the Lord opened your eyes, you would know that you lived here multiple lives, you committed sin and acts that should put you to death of your present life and the past lives. You know what I mean? So you being judged for that.
Can I make a statement? Down on my job, right? This lady was like, if there's a God, that's why I don't believe in God. If there was a God, why would the Lord allow that man to throw his 2-year-old son in the water and drown him? I didn't say nothing, because you don't know, you don't understand anything, lady, because you're a woman.
Judgment.
You don't understand shit. That was judgment.
Judgment.
That was heavy judgment, man.
That nigga was a demon for doing that, but the Most High put that demon on him.
Yeah, because and then he did that to get back at his woman, because she broke up with him. And then she's like, then he had his little, even though they broke up, she gave him his space with his son. She wasn't keeping his son from him. That's from reports I've read. And what happened was, I guess he was sore that she broke up with him. He said, I'm gonna get back at this bitch. Once him in the Bronx River and drowned him. But guess what? On a spiritual level, that was that little baby's judgment. He was innocent. And this is like, he was 2 years old, he ain't do shit. And what about his previous life? What did he do in his previous life? What the fuck he did? To receive that harsh judgment,
That's
man.
a harsh judgment. You're 2-year-old is drowning to death.
Can't defend yourself, don't know how to hold your breath, don't know nothing. That's sucking in the air, sucking in the water.
And that heartless ass nigga, they went a whole month before they launched that search. Before they did the mission for everything, like that shit. So that dead body was there for a minute.
Yeah, because you can imagine the baby body was bloated, picked on by fish, you know what I mean? Mutilated, you know?
Yeah. Now see, that the soul wasn't new. The soul was old.
The body was new.
The body was new, and here's the thing. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai told him, it was a boy or girl, told that person the judgment when that spirit is going to be brought in. When you going to die, how you going to die in the spiritual.
So everybody knew, but he didn't remember.
But all right, go relax until your spirit is put down there. Yo, this is how deadly the Most High is. You know what I mean?
Dreadful he is, man.
Yo, you gonna come back as a 2-year-old? I'm a fucking. He's gonna die in some Bronx River somewhere.
Yeah, some nasty ass water.
Even over some shit that don't got nothing to do with you. Because it really, he's just a kid. Like, he's out of it. Which shows that these souls are old souls, man.
And then what the Yahweh Hashem Yahushua tell him? All right, adjourn.
But guess what though?
Yo,
that dude that
I'm
did
serious,
that,
bro.
crazy. That dude that did, they found him, and his face been plastered all over TikTok, all over social media. When he go to jail, that dude is done, man. They gonna whoop that nigga ass, man.
Oh yeah.
He gonna be done, man. Trust me, I know. He gonna be done, man.
Oh, it was again. Now, Hashem Yahushua told the father, like, yo, you gonna kill your kid down here. You gonna go through all kind of judgment, and then you gonna die. Which way you gonna die, I don't know. But you gonna be rotting.
The Lord knows
whatever.
the Lord knows
Told
how
him
he gonna
step by
die.
step.
The Lord knows how he gonna die.
No, the Lord told him. I'm saying I don't know.
what the Lord told him.
Okay.
The Lord told him.
Okay.
But the Lord telling you all your steps, so you can go. No, the Lord be let you know the judgment, yo. You gonna
Laying it out.
Laying
it out hardcore.
Lord told us everything we was gonna experience here on this.
And that nigga look like a grimy nigga.
Yeah, you seen his face?
He like a grimy sleazeball.
And this son look just like him. So you look at your son, you be like, damn, that's a
Nah, his son ain't look just like him.
I mean, it looked like him a little bit. Maybe it wasn't his son. Maybe why he did that. You never know.
No, he had the same last name. Imagine he found out it wasn't his kid, but I didn't hear that though.
Me neither did I. But who knows, man? Who knows? But him and this woman broke up. That was the reason why he did that, to get back at her. You ain't hurt nobody but yourself, because guess what? She's gonna be heartbroken. She lost her son.
She said I threw that little nigga in the water. That's what he told her.
That's crazy.
That's what the article said.
Yeah, he said it. I read the article too, man. The way you said it though, man, you was like, yo, I do that little in the water. That's what he told him. Yo, I know, man, but the way you said it, bro, the look on your face, like, yo, you was that, yo.
And the scripture says, no one parachute innocent. You know?
Job 4:7.
Yeah.
I prayed him. Remember, I prayed whoever perished being innocent. So he wasn't innocent, man. Even though he was 2 years old, innocent in this life. But you gotta understand, you live, your body, your soul is old as hell, man.
Hey, and a perfect example is Yahweh Shai was innocent when he came as Yahweh Shai, but in his past life, when he kept going off as King Solomon, right?
But he was Adam. He went up. He was Adam.
Yep.
He went up. He was King Solomon. So I mean,
but as Yahweh Shai, he was perfect.
but he had to pay.
Yeah.
You gotta pay, man.
Yeah.
There's no escaping the judgments of the Lord. Even Yahweh Shai had to pay. So imagine that little 2-year-old boy. Imagine us, man.
That's why we gotta hope in the Lord's mercy, because
Yeah,
we're all worthy of death.
Yeah, we all. And that's why I'm glad that the Most High brought me in this truth. You know what I'm saying? The Most High brought you in for a reason. Maybe it's for deliverance, maybe it's for judgment. We gotta look at it on both sides, man. You know, but as long as we keep doing what we do and putting up our videos coming out in the highways and the byways, maybe we're part of the elect. You know? But you gotta hope that, man. Yo, the other day, right, I was walking, and this chick was walking, and she was walking, and she was pregnant too. She was pregnant. It was her and this chick walking together, and she was pregnant. You know what this bitch did? She was walking. She was like, pull her pants down inside of twerking, showing her ass. She was fucking pregnant, man. I was like, that's what I said. Wow. I said, I feel sorry for your man, your baby father. She was like, fuck you. Yo, I'm serious, bro. She just
Feel sorry for that baby.
No, I said I feel sorry for you.
No, I'm saying feel sorry for the baby.
I said I feel sorry for your baby father. Yeah, I feel sorry. I didn't say that, but it was like I didn't get a chance to get in detail because I was. Yeah, cut. I was like, oh shit, why would she do that? She just started twerking. She's pregnant. The girl was like, she was like, bitch, you stupid. And she was laughing. I was like, wow, I feel sorry for your baby father. She was like, fuck you. Just like that.
All right, let's close out. All right, we're gonna give all praises to
Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai by Shem Makakwadash.
That belongs to the Apostle Shalom.
Shalom.